It's your boy BLAZEDxENFERNO, and you are now tuned into the Infernal Gaming Podcast. I just want to let y'all know real quick that you guys can check us out on all major podcast platforms, such as Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Make sure, if you watch us on those two platforms, that you rate the show 5 stars. You can also watch us on YouTube, though, over at my YouTube channel. Just make sure you guys, in the search bar, go over there, type in Infernal Gaming Podcast. It should show right up, man. Make sure you check us out. Links down below, all that good stuff. Enjoy the show. Love y'all. E-Night.
Yeah.
We ain't talk about it on the last episode, man. And since you the residential Halo player here, man, explain the new Halo stuff to us, man.
Oh, it's just going to be on Unreal Engine.
Yeah, man.
That's it. That's it.
Man. That's really what it is, dog. They fuck around and lie to everybody. They ain't lie, but all right. Here's the thing, right? 343 sucks at making Halo, in my opinion. In my opinion.
No, the like I've probably said a billion times. Their track record with Halo is not great.
Yeah. So
Halo 4 was, to me, not even that great in terms of like the multiplayer and shit like that. But also like Halo 5 was like the inverse, where the multiplayer was well liked, but the the story or the campaign was not liked at all. So like, and then Halo Infinite was like, oh, you got a better balance of the two, but you didn't have any content at launch, and you kind of fucked up the whole live service model.
Yeah, they fucked up with that.
So yeah, they don't have a great track record making these games, and they have a worse track record managing the outside IPs, like with the Halo TV show and shit, which, you know, out of all the video game shit that got nominated in the Game Awards, it's one of the TV shows I don't think got nominated at all.
Yeah, man.
Like,
you know, for good reasons, though. Because
it's just like they don't listen to the fans. They don't listen to a lot of things people want, and like the recent change up in their leadership with Halo Infinite, at least, has been positive, because we've been getting a lot of things that people wanted for a long time. So like it's just like right now, it might change, but the whole Halo Studio shit is just like the Scooby-Doo mask meme. Like, you pulling off, it's like it's been 343 the whole time. Like I have a gut feeling that like when their next Halo game comes out, it's gonna be something along the lines of like just like it's the same shit, but like a different coating of paint. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Like, it might look good under Unreal, but if it doesn't feel like Halo, then what the fuck is the point? It's like them coming out with Call of Duty, and then every new COD is like Call of Duty Ghosts. Like, it's like,
I agree, man. Yeah, like them changing the name was them just literally doing that. All they did was change
PR move, purely. And
yeah,
it's funny because there's a YouTuber that I watch a lot. His name is Halo Box Studios, and his fucking video reaction to that, he's like, "Fuck, we're cooked."
Yeah, man. Like, I think the move to Unreal Engine is good because, you know, Unreal Engine is a universal gaming engine, and for the longest they've been using the what is it called?
They've been using split gate. So the problem with that is that they built that engine from scratch, but they didn't let anybody really play around with it. So when we got Infinite, it was like all spaghetti code.
Yeah.
So, and then people got fired or laid off or quit, and that was it. Like, no one really knew what the fuck they're doing. So development time took too long because new people would come in, and the new people were like, "Oh, what the fuck is this? I got to learn all this shit." It wasn't a good idea. They should have either kept the old engine, which was a lot easier to work with, or switched Unreal early on. But like I said, if it doesn't feel like Halo, it's going to be just like, what's the point?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It graphical update's nice and all, but if I jump and it feels like I'm like coming back down to earth like really fast, it's not gonna feel like Halo. Or if I melee a random box and it doesn't like have a chance of taking somebody out, then what's the point? Like,
Yeah, man. I just think the best thing about this whole announcement is probably just like I said. I think now that they're using a universal engine that a lot of devs are familiar with. When they do bring new people in, it'll be easier for them to, because a lot of devs have experience with Unreal Engine because it is a more mainstream,
it's a very common
yeah,
game engine that everyone's been using. I mean, Black Myth Wukong is on that shit. So
yeah,
again, that studio is basically brand new. So it's like,
yeah, I think that's the only thing that this new engine is gonna be good for is literally just that, man. Like, unfortunately, man, like,
I mean, I just think if 343 is committed to change and they are gonna like change a little bit, then the leadership shakeup is literally the only thing that I see that has any promise. Everything else is just gonna be just for show. It's PR shit, new coat of paint. So Halo Studios is, you can rebrand the damn studio 16 times. It does not matter if you keep putting out crap. So
yeah,
that's more or less what I think. We shall wait and see how it is.
yeah, we'll see, man. I think. What do you think this means for the future of Halo, man? Because like in that little thing, so for the viewers, if you don't know, when they made this whole announcement that they were changing the name of the studio and they were going to be using Unreal instead of the Slipstream engine, it was during the Halo finals for their competitive scene or whatever.
HCS.
They showed off a lot of gameplay of what looks like Halo 1.
Yeah, it was a tech demo version of Halo 1.
Yeah,
and a lot of it was just, again, it wasn't gameplay. We were still images.
Yeah, that's what I should say. Still images and some video, like very small videos, and them panning out of certain areas that look like from Halo 1. So what do you think this means? Do you think this means we're getting that Halo 1?
Yeah, well, so apparently they want to remake Halo 1 and kind of reboot the series. Which me personally, I think it's just like, unless you're like doing a 1-to-1 and adding extra content to the first game, kind of is not a good idea. But they want to bring it to PlayStation too.
They want to do the Sega move, man. I think they're ready for the Sega move. They want,
which I don't have a problem with them bringing it to PlayStation or other consoles. I really don't. You want to bring that shit to Switch? Go for it. Let's see if you can get it to work right. That's fine. But in my opinion, I don't think rebooting the series, especially if you're not going to have the legendary voices of Stevie Zowes or Jen Taylor, it is a smart move. I think what they should have did was just focus on the future and focused on like new stories in the Halo universe, and not try to rely on Master Chief as being your sole character. I was like, my headcanon since Halo 3 has always been Chief died in the cryopod, just like that, and you could have had a new John, but they decided to wake his ass up in Halo 4 with nano machines and shit, and just goes, "Hey."
Was a good scene too. Was a good scene. Very good scene.
It was a cool clip. It was like, what the fuck?
The beginning of Halo 4 is greatness, and then you get the Requiem, and it's just downhill from there, man.
Yeah, it's not that like the story of Halo 4, like the narrative is bad. It's the
level design.
It's campaign design. There's a couple cool like missions in there, but they do with a COD formula where it's like, you'll never see these vehicles again. You'll never see any of this shit again. And what Halo was really always good at least in the past when Bungie was in charge, OG Bungie anyway, they like, you saw a vehicle that you could drive around in fucking the campaign is in multiplayer. Like, you more than likely, like, fucking Halo 3 had a whole vehicle that was only in multiplayer. So it was like their core mechanics transferred over to multiplayer. Whereas in Halo 4, they just basically were like, hey, there's this giant mammoth thing here. Here's these cool spaceships you could fly in the campaign, but you can't use them outside of this. Sorry.
Yeah.
I think the only thing they've done was let you fly a Pelican. And that was like one mission, but I can't unless it was modded in. I don't think you could use the Pelican at all in multiplayer. So like,
yeah, man, it sucks, man. Because I want the best for Halo, but as we're gonna talk about with this next topic, because we're gonna get right into it. We got a lot to talk about with this episode. A lot to talk about because we spent the last gaming episode literally just talking about Call of Duty. We're gonna talk about all the news.
We're gonna talk about the Call of Duty killer.
Yeah, we gotta talk about the Call of Duty killer. They got killed by Call of Duty. I mean, let's just jump right into it because this was like crazy to me on a random Wednesday at 7:00 in the afternoon. They're like, "Hey, this is the announcement we want to make." So let's talk about what we talking about. So, XDefiant. For those that follow me on twitch.tv/BLAZEDxENFERNO, y'all already know that was a game I used to stream when it first came out. When it launched, we was playing it for maybe like, I would say like a solid month. We gave it like a lot of time. We played a lot of it that first 2 initial weeks. Then it kind of slowed down. And then maybe I would say we gave the game about like 2 months. And then we were just like, yeah, nah, we're done with this. So December 3rd at 6:41 p.m. On Twitter, XDefiant basically tweeted out, and I'm quoting this from the tweet. Dear players, important message. XDefiant is sunsetting. Thank you for your incredible support and dedication to XDefiant. We regret to inform you that we are initiating the sunset process starting today, December 3rd, 2024. As a result, new downloads, player registrations, and purchases will no longer be available. Season 3 will still launch, the servers will remain active, and the game will be fully playable until June 3rd, 2025. For those that have purchased the Ultimate Founders Pack, you will receive a full refund. Players who made any purchases within the last 30 days will also be fully refunded. Please note, processing these refunds will take up to 8 weeks. For more details or refunds, please visit xdefiant.com. Below is a personal message from our executive producer, Mark Rubin. Thank you for being part of this journey. And then Mark Rubin, who's famous for working on some of the older COD games, he had a heartfelt message to the players and stuff like that, to the devs that worked on the game. I got a lot to say, man. I got a lot to say.
Go ahead.
I'm going to sip my water on this joint, man. All right, y'all ready? This hurt me. But we all saw it coming, dog.
Yep.
We all saw it coming. Yeah, I mean, it's not one of those things where it was like a surprise. The only thing that shocked me the most about this announcement is how fucking fast it was. Like, I thought we would at least get a full year, which we technically are. I mean, because the game came out, I believe, like May of this year, and it'll be up till June 3rd of next year. So we're going to get a full year of it. It's just after this next season comes out, whenever it comes out, they are just done. They're pulling a Vampire Masquerade on.
They're pulling a Concord. That's what they're doing.
Nah, Concord, they pulled the plug on that shit like 10 days in. With this shit, it's like you could tell like there was a lot of, there's so much to talk about, man. There's so much to just unpack here because you could blame a lot. There's a lot of factors that go into this. And it just leads on to deeper and deeper conversations, which, we'll probably definitely talk about. That's why we're going to spend a good amount of time on this topic, because This game was probably doomed to fail from the beginning because one, it is an Ubisoft property. It's an Ubisoft game. The game never looked good to begin with. They announced this game back, I think, like 2020, 2021. We started talking about it in the beginning of the podcast. When we first started this shit in the beginning, we were talking about it.
Yeah, so, it was like a alpha test, beta test.
Yeah, man. Yep. Like, you know, we were talking about it early and talking about how bad it looked and shit. And they changed up some things and, you know, it still didn't look very good, but you know, like it looked like it had some hope. And then it came out and it was like a 6 out of 10. And I remember that because I remember that review. I remember us talking about it. I remember us really like breaking that game down. And I remember both me and Eknight saying, like, yo, this is a 6 with love. This is like a 6 with a lot of love. Like, this game could be 8 possibly, you know, if they fixed a lot of things.
But it's not even that. They didn't have a lot of things that Call of Duty offered, and like a lot of people saying this being the Call of Duty killer, it being advertised as a Call of Duty competitor. Considering you got Warzone, you got zombies, you got all these game modes that COD offers as to the casual gamer and ease of access on multi-platforms. And you look at XDefiant's gameplay and it's got this hero-esque shooter style and barely really any what is it called, progression system that's anywhere closer similar to the Call of Duty games. It's like, no, this thing was kind of like overhyped, and like I don't know, gameplay wise, it just never felt 100% great to play.
Yeah,
it's like you played it for the first 2 weeks because it was new.
Yeah,
but after that, there was no itch to go back.
Content. It was more for the,
I mean, yeah, but like I'm talking more for me. Like I played it for like a week or two, and then I never went back.
Yeah, man. I thought. See, the issues that this game had on release was like it was clear. Like anybody with 2 eyes could see like what the issues were with this game. And the biggest issue was that, again, it was more so the community was claiming that it was a COD killer, but let's just be real. You know, right? This game was in competition with Call of Duty. It's stepping on Call of Duty's toes. It's aimed at taking Call of Duty's players. It was designed to be like, hey, Call of Duty's doing this, we're doing that. So it was like, again, it was this direct competition. But like Eknight said, the biggest problem is it didn't have what Call of Duty had to offer. Even just from a multiplayer standpoint. Like if we were just to eliminate campaign, eliminate zombies, eliminate Warzone, multiplayer for multiplayer, it
didn't even have half the modes that, like, you didn't have CTF, you
didn't have the important shit. You didn't have the important shit.
You had escort, though. Like that was the only thing it really had. That was the main mode a lot of people played.
Yeah, you had that, domination, the hard point, and I think like kill confirmed, but you didn't have. I don't even think you had kill confirmed. You had like I forget what the other mode was, but you didn't have any team deathmatch. You didn't have search and destroy, which is important. Like these are game modes that are like staples in any most
shooters.
Yeah, man. Like you see with Siege, like when Siege started doing casual modes, they brought modes like team deathmatch.
Deathmatch was a whole ass update.
Yeah, it's a staple of like a first person shooter. You know what I mean? Like CS:GO kind of normalized the search and destroy method, the one life, you know, plant the bomb, defend the bomb type game mode. That became a staple really early in, you know, COD 4, World at War, Modern Warfare 2. That was a big mode. That was a very crucial mode that I feel like just for me as a Call of Duty player, if you want me to play your game, that needed to be there day one. That was something that just needed to be there because.
But you also didn't really have anything that standed out outside of the Call of Duty's gameplay. Like
man.
Yeah, basically like just the hero shooter-esque thing.
Yeah. The progression felt really slow.
The progression was basically just your gun attachments, and that was it. You had nothing outside of that. Really?
Yeah, the progression was very slow, and they couldn't make up their minds on the progression and how fast or slow they wanted it to be. And then they changed the mastery up like mid season one, and that like pissed off a lot of people. Like,
Mm-hmm.
because I think it was to get the gun bronze, you had to get it to level like 50. To get it to silver, you had to get it to 100. And to get the gold, you had to get it to 150. And then they were like, yeah, we're going to make 300 levels. And that like pissed mad people off.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because they changed the entire, you know, mastery of the gun and stuff like that. And that's the type of shit that like players of Call of Duty multiplayer and just like first person shooter multiplayer kind of go for. Like with Call of
Mm-hmm.
Duty, like, you know, right now, right before me and Eni started this podcast, I was just working on guns, still working on my Dark Matter. You know what I mean, trying to get
Yeah.
my guns gold and stuff like that. It's something that us COD players do. We want to bling out our guns. We want our shit to look cool. We want to have all the attachments so we can be ready for the new metas and Warzone or whatever the fuck we need to do with these guns and stuff like that. But none of that was there. None of that was there. And I feel like it would have made a bigger player investment off of that. There wasn't a lot of maps. The maps that were there weren't typically the best. A lot of them were kind of one-sided. I did like the fact that a lot of them were like 3-lane maps, because that's something that Call of Duty's been having like this weird internal battle with over the past couple years.
Mm-hmm.
Is they don't want to do the 3-lane shit, but they want to do the 3-lane shit, but they don't. It's fucking weird. Then it was just like the net code was bad. Like it just like you'd be shooting at a guy and your shit wouldn't be doing nothing.
Oh yeah, it would, depending on where you were aiming at, it could have just like insta kill the guy or not. Like
yeah, you would swing around a corner and swing into some cover, and you would somehow die. And on their screen, you were never in the cover. It was like there's a lot of like issues that they just never fixed. They never fucking got around to fixing, at least to my knowledge. Like I've kept up with the game. I don't play it, but I've kept up with it enough to know that like a lot of the issues that I had with the game just never were solved. Like I know they added S&D, which was cool. It was called Bomb. It was all right. I did play. It was cool. It was your search and destroy. It was decent, but it just, again, when everything else around the game just doesn't feel good, it didn't feel good. Like even the bomb spots didn't feel good. Ranked play, I heard, was like a mess. There's a lot of cheaters. Obviously, there's also going to be cheaters on these games.
Yeah, it just
galore on Call of Duty. We'll talk about that
like
later.
a lot of things that Ubisoft has put out so far. It was kind of just generic.
Yeah, they've had a shitty year, and it's crazy that I'm gonna say this too. A week ago, right? I was talking to some of the guys in the Discord. We were just chilling, and we were talking about Ubisoft because we were talking about how a friend wanted us to buy Skull and Bones, and we're like, man, we ain't buying that shit. And like, we ain't buying that fucking dog shit. And then I was just thinking, like, damn, I think Ubisoft is taking like every game they dropped has been an L. Like, I liked Star Wars. I gave it like a 7.5. Like it's a cool game. Like it's honestly like a 7.5. You may be able to give it an 8. I think anything other higher than that is like you're not being realistic. The game does have a lot of like issues, but the game is pretty decent. The game is pretty decent for what it is. But they've taken nothing but L's, dog. And it's like Shadows isn't looking too good. Yeah, I mean,
and that's
then they got problem. This shit. And I was just telling people a week ago, I was like, well, at least XDefiant was a hit. They made a lot of money off of that. And then a week
now
later,
they're giving it all back.
A week later, they said, fuck this game. I mean, it's crazy, but I mean, it leads into a lot of conspiracies that people have with Ubisoft. A lot of people think that internally they're trying to make the company go belly up so they can go private again and sell it off to 10 cent. I've heard that.
Because there's another company that's been trying to get at them. I forget what they're called, but they've been after Ubisoft.
For years. Yeah, for a long time. I know what you're talking about. I can't think of the name either. But it's like there's just a lot of things that play into this that it's just like it's disappointing, man. It's like mad disappointing because XDefiant to me wasn't a bad game. It was above average. I mean,
Yeah,
a six to me was above average. It needed work. It's a live service game, so I kind of expected the work. I mean, I kind of expected the time and effort to be put into it. Off of the initial burst of feedback that they got, because I always do think that's important. And I think the weird thing and another variable with this game, it's like they dropped it too late, man. They dropped it like, if they would have dropped this game probably in like November or December of last year, I think this game would have did really good, because of the fact that a lot of people were kind of jaded with Modern Warfare 3. A lot of people didn't buy Modern Warfare 3. A lot of people didn't play Modern Warfare 3. They were jaded because it was basically just a $70 update. They didn't want to pay for it, stuff like that. Like, they could have swung in and just been like, hey, here's this game. That's why a lot of people did play it when it came out in May.
Because they wanted something different.
Yeah, but it was like you only gave yourself like a couple months. Yeah, I mean, of course, y'all didn't know that Black Ops 6 was coming out and it was going to be what it is, but y'all did know that a fucking Call of Duty was going to be coming out this year, and that you
didn't know it was going to be actually good for a change.
Yeah, like you kind of got to expect these things, and it's like, this is the thing I hate about companies. Like, we talk about Titanfall 2 all the time. Like, Titanfall 2 just didn't get a fighting chance. It came out like 2 weeks before fucking Battlefield 1 came out.
And then, like, what was it? Battlefield 1 and Call of Duty, right?
Yeah, it was like, why would you do this? Like, why?
That made you had one direct competitor that was your own fucking game. Just made no sense.
Yeah, like, it's just.
And then you're like, oh man, why didn't it do good? Oh, because you released the game in between two other games that were major releases. It should have came out way earlier than that. Give people a chance. Like, don't get me wrong, the Titanfall community is still pretty strong, like all things. But
it's not mainstream, which it needs to be. Like, I want that game to be mainstream. I want to talk about Titanfall the same way we talk about Call of Duty and Apex and everything else. I want to talk about Titanfall. I don't even want to talk about Apex. I want to talk about Titanfall. I mean, it's a shame, because it's like I said, I feel like y'all do this shit to yourselves. Like, do the research, man. Like, look at there's a game that was supposed to come out in February, like right around the same time as Monster Hunter Wilds. And they were just like, no, we're pushing that shit back. And they kept it real too. They were like, yo, it's like too congested this time of the year. You know what I mean? We're going to move this shit. I think it was the new Yakuza game. They were literally just like, nah, we're pushing it like a whole month, like, back. Like, we'll see you all in March. I mean, we'll let y'all play y'all Monster Hunter and shit. I feel like that's like the way you need to be. Like,
that's why I'm laughing at Shadows, because Shadows is going to come out like a week or two before Monster Hunter Wilds, and I'm like, that game is going to fall off hard.
Yeah, man.
Even though it's single player, it's one of those long single player games, and I feel like it's going to just either nobody's going to buy it because they're going to save up for Wilds, or it's just going to tank as soon as Wilds comes out.
Then you got another single player game coming out, the Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. That's coming out, and that looks really good.
Yeah, and a lot of people like the first game. I still haven't played it.
Is coming out.
Vowed's got its own little controversy going on, but like at the same time, like I still want to try it, because
we'll talk about that later.
It's a nice little Skyrim clone. Is from what I've been seeing. So hopefully that is good too.
It's just like these games don't kind of see like the writing on the wall. Like, I mean, you should get the fuck out the way when the big dog is coming in.
It's not even that. It's just that like they can challenge the big games. It's just they don't know what their audiences want, and they're not putting that out. XDefiant is going after Call of Duty kids.
All right, but the best example I can give you is this, right? Not to cut you off, but the best example I can give you is this, because we both feel the same way on this. You know what I'm going to say? Gundam Evolution.
Facts.
Why would you drop that game fucking a couple weeks before fucking Overwatch 2 is coming the fuck out, dog? Like, why would you do that?
But here's the thing, all right? So we could segue into Marvel Rivals after this, because Marvel Rivals is directly challenging Overwatch 2 and any other hero shooter style games. Gundam Evolution's had a chance. The problem is that the way they monetize shit in that was very predatory. And I've already discussed why. they kind of are shooting themselves in the foot by not letting you like play all the dudes at once and making you pay for everything, despite it being free to play. You know what I mean? Marvel Rivals is free to play. You have literally like, what is it, like 20 champions unlocked off the rip?
Yeah, dog.
Yeah, no,
like I said, we'll talk about that
the
shit
entire
in a little
roster
bit.
is available to you. You don't need to pay for
download
shit.
it. I gotta set my account up and stuff for the stream today. But yeah, man, like I can't wait to dive into that game. That
Dude, I've been playing it since it came out, so like it's pretty good. It feels pretty good as an Overwatch competitor.
I can't wait to play.
You're gonna see a lot of similarities. You're gonna see a lot of similarities between heroes you like, but they're more of like combinations, and they take all the good parts and kind of leave the bad parts behind.
That's good.
Almost every hero seems like it's broken its own way. I'm just telling you, like this is a studio that studied, they did their research. They go, this is what the Overwatch crowd like, this is what the other hero shooters like. Okay, let's work it out. Let's see if we can work this out.
But see, you said the right thing, man. It's like, do these companies not do the fucking the research?
No, there have been plenty of examples of major corporations ignoring trends and fucking what audience people like, what the hardcore audience of their people have been saying they want them to do, and they ignore it because, I mean, remember Anthem, right? Anthem was a looter shooter that ignored Destiny and all those other looter shooters that were having much more successful than it, and just made stupid brain dead mistakes that should never been made. Like, and they were told not to look at other games while they were developing. And I was like, bro, you got to take a little creative inspiration from your competitors.
I agree.
Apex did that shit. Fortnite does that shit. Like Halo does that shit. Call of Duty does that shit. Like, they all do it. It's not the only thing is, like, it's not copying if you make your own version of it.
Yeah, I think Marvel Rivals is a unique case, dog, and it's unique for a lot of reasons. I don't know if we talked about it before, but I think the thing that Marvel has going for it is it has a lot of the same factors that XDefiant did, but it also has some unique to itself. Like, the thing with XDefiant was, again, like, people were kind of like jaded towards Call of Duty at the time. So it was one of those things where it's like, bet we can swing in and kind of take those players and see what we can do with them. Same thing with Marvel Rivals. Overwatch is in a I don't know what fucking state. All right, I haven't played in the past 2 seasons, like maybe season. I know the new character is about to drop or did drop or whatever the case may be, but I haven't come back yet. It's not anything bad because I'm one of those people with Overwatch that just kind of play kind of passively. I do really enjoy Overwatch 2. I don't see the need for Overwatch 2 after everything that's happened at this point, and we don't even need to reiterate.
You mean the fact that, like, fucking Overwatch 2 was supposed to have PvE, and that's why it was called 2, but it doesn't have that name anymore. So it's basically just back to 1, and they redid the multiplayer too.
Yeah, they try to bring 6v6 back. And then Elfie, if you guys remember her on the previous podcast we did a couple podcasts ago, she had a crazy theory that I liked the theory when she told me about it. Because I asked her, like, because I haven't been over on Overwatch because I've been playing so much Duty. I was like, yo, man, how you feel about that new 6v6 shit? And she was telling me, like, her theory on is that she thinks they made it ass on purpose. So people can be like, oh, please give us back 5v5. You know what I mean? Because that's what we, that just feels better than this shit. You know what I mean? And it's like they reverted a lot of changes that didn't make sense. Like the goal was for them when they brought the 6v6 shit back is to go all the way back to the beginning of Overwatch, to go all the way back to like season 0 launch Overwatch,
where you could play as like the same dude over and over again. Yeah.
But the problem was you got Brigitte, you got all these characters that weren't there on launch that don't work with the launch mechanics, and then you have some characters like Farah that have nerfs and buffs that was given to her a year or 2 into the game. So it's like a lot of this shit didn't make sense. And Elvie was saying, like, they made it ass on purpose so people can just bitch and complain like they did and say, we want 5v5 back like they did.
Mhm.
So we could get 5v5 back like we did. Yeah, I mean, and they can continue to just move on as normal. I mean, and I kind of believe that. I
mean, I could see that considering they released it as like a limited time event, right?
Yeah.
So like, I could see that theory, but at the same time, isn't that just shooting you in the foot? Like you're just shooting yourself in the foot. Because what if the potential that would have been like, everyone's happy about the changes, and you go back and you've done everything that you did back in the day, and everyone's like super positive for the first time in a long time. You know what I mean? Like it could have been something like that and ride the hype back up to the top. But they just I feel like they just don't want to put in the effort.
Yeah, I believe so too, man. I don't think Overwatch is cooked. I think Overwatch has a humongous
Overwatch
fan
isn't going
base.
anywhere.
Yeah, I think it has a humongous fan base, but I do believe Marvel Rivals does have the potential to come in, take a lot of those players and be like, oh yeah, I'm never going back to that, man. It does have that potential just because, again, the one thing that it has that XDefiant was trying to make it get its game have, but it did it in a stupid ass way, is familiarity, right?
Mhm.
Like it had the Tom Clancy characters, it had Ghost Recon characters, but it wasn't like
but none of those characters had their own identity.
Yeah, exactly.
They put in Rainbow Six Siege, but GSG9. But it's like none of those characters from the GSG9 were Blitz or anybody like that.
Yeah. Whereas Marvel Rivals is literally the Marvel universe, and Marvel is a big IP with a lot of people love Marvel. So it's like that alone is just
more
gonna
recognizable
make people,
IP.
Yeah, that alone is just gonna make people flock to it. Like I'm a big Marvel person, so I'm already on board, and I like hero shooters. So that Marvel Rivals is a shoe-in for me.
Oh yeah, no, the like gameplay alone is just really good.
Yeah, man. I heard it's optimized. I heard everything is like really good.
Yeah,
they did their work, man. They did their work. But we ain't gonna talk about that. We talking about XDefiant, and I just think that the sad part about this, because I said it was sad too, is like I said, it's like it's kind of like I talked about it with Concord too. Like I was kind of sad when Concord shut down, even though it was like kind of inevitable with that shit. It's just one of those things where it's like, again, like we've talked about it when Elfie was on the podcast, and I know we've talked about it over the years of doing this podcast. But the problem we have now with gaming right now, why people are having this love-hate relationship with gaming and all this other stuff, is because gaming has kind of just become like this stale thing where like the top 4 games have just been juggernauts forever, and it's just nothing can break that. Like if you're not Apex, Fortnite, fucking Call of Duty, or PUBG, you're just, you know what I mean? You're just never gonna get to those heights. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's a game that just came out yesterday, Delta Force Hawk Ops, which is really good. I played like maybe like 2 hours of it. I really like it.
Good Battlefield competitor.
Yeah, I think the Battlefield part is cool, but like I'm kind of.
You like the looter shooter part, or
I love. It. I love.
Well, it's not a looter shooter. It's what's it called?
Extraction shooter.
Extraction shooter.
I love it. It's perfect. It's perfect. It's literally like they took. It feels like DMZ, dog. It feels just like DMZ. I was like, dog, this is crazy. I played like a couple matches last night, and I was like, oh yeah, I can't wait to stream this shit, dog. I cannot fucking wait to play this fucking game, dog. Yeah, I mean, like, oh man, I told my boy Coyote, shout out Coyote Body. I told him, yeah, it's just like DMZ. He was like, I'm downloading it right now. Yeah, I mean, like, it's just, dog, it's so good. But the problem with these games is, again, it's like you're trying to take people from a fan base that they're familiar with, and then you're kind of trying to dumb it down and use all these bad practices, I think. I mean, sometimes to try to sway people. And I just
you're trying to steal from a different community instead of trying to just focus on developing your own product.
Exactly. Like another game that I wanted to talk about real quick, my fault not to cut you off, but like PoE2, right?
Yeah.
PoE2 comes out today. I got it early access. I'll be streaming it. Twitch.tv/BlazeDxENFERNO. Y'all be this podcast drops the same day I'm gonna be streaming it too. So, shameless plug. That is a game that I feel like it takes inspiration from a game that it loves, right?
Itself.
It like generally, like I've been watching videos about it all week, and everybody's been saying it's like you can see the Diablo 2 influence all over that game. Like even I see it, like, and I've never played Diablo 2. I've just seen like pictures and videos of it. It looks like Diablo 2. You know what I mean? It looks like it just what a person who loved Diablo 2 would love to play now. You know what I mean? Which is the problem a lot of people have with Diablo 4, because it doesn't feel like the game that they grew up playing and love, which is a whole nother argument in itself, because Diablo 4 is my first Diablo game, so I have nothing to really put it up against, and I think I really like Diablo 4, and I'm hoping I really like PoE 2. That's why I bought into the early access. Not only that I bought into the early access, but the early access was like, hey, you pay $30, you get $30 worth of currency. You pay $60, you get $60 worth of currency and all this other shit. You pay $90, you get $90 worth of currency. I like that. Like, give me, if I'm going to be paying to come in early, give me my money's worth in at least the store and shit like that. I do like that, because a lot of games like Throne and Liberty, you know what I mean? They didn't give you a bang for your buck for that early access, man.
Yeah.
To play it 5 days early, like they didn't give you a bang for your buck for that. That was kind of fucked up, but it's cool. But I do like the direction they're going in. Like I said, like just doing things that prioritize the player first. They're like, hey, for you the guys that put a lot of money and time into PoE 1, you get PoE 2 early access for free. Good shit. That's good.
Yeah,
practices.
You're rewarding your player base.
Yeah, that's good.
They're gonna love
practices.
that shit.
Marvel Rivals. Hey, all of the characters are free to play. You don't have to pay for the characters. We just, we got microtransactions that we'll talk about later. I mean, we'll talk about those later. You know what I mean? In the store, I feel like XDefiant was like, we're free to play. We're gonna tax the fuck out of you, though. We got no game modes, though. You know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck? Like, you have nothing to entice me to be like, yo, I'm gonna drop this game that I've been playing for decades to come and play. And I think that's the problem with the current game sphere. Like, I wanted to save this for the podcast, right? I know I'm rambling and shit, but I really feel strongly about this XDefiant shit, right? I was telling people the other day, I was like, my boy was just like, yo, man, you still play Destiny 2? I was like, nah, bro, I let that game go. He was like, oh, you know what I mean? New season came out, you should re-download it. I'm like, no, I let that game go. I let it go. You know what I mean? I got my 10 years out of that game. I got to see the ending of my Guardian. It felt good. It felt like a really good place to end on. That last season was amazing. It was brilliant. It was honestly a 9 out of 10, like I said it was. It was great. I mean, if I could give it put it in my top 5 game of the year, I would, but I'm not going to do that because I'm not the Game Awards. We'll talk about that later. You know what I mean? but it's just like, that's how I feel like you got to be sometimes. You got to just be able to put these games down and say, okay, I am done. I've invested a lot of time and money into this game, but I am done. And I think that's the problem with a lot of gamers these days, is that some of these people have thousands of dollars invested in the Apex, Fortnite, Call of Duty, that it's just like they can't see themselves going to play your XDefiant or your PoE 2 or all of this other stuff when they have money invested in Diablo 4, Call of Duty,
not
Overwatch
even that.
2.
It's more or less they can try it, but then it doesn't feel good to them because they've been only playing this one game.
Exactly.
Or only a handful of games, they're comfort games. Which there's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
But at the same time, like, you don't give the new stuff a chance, which we try to do. But like I said, everything I said about XDefiant in prior podcasts about what it was missing, why am I not able to like traverse the map more effectively? Why is it like sometimes you can like jump over this area, but other times that similar style area I can't jump over, like just shit like that. And it's like you you went after an audience. You didn't do your research. You've revisioned this thing like 16 times. Same thing with Skull and Bones. Skull and Bones had a better chance if they had stuck with their original Black Flag style gameplay.
They would have killed it. They would have killed it.
But no, they made that shit just this. What is it?
Game.
Warships, War
World
Thunder style game.
Yeah. World of Warships.
And it's like there's nothing wrong with that, but it's like you're advertising a pirate game. People want to do pirate shit. They don't want to do naval battles only. They want to go in there, rob some shit, and leave. So I Sea of Thieves is still around because Sea of Thieves allows you to fulfill that type of fantasy.
That game is amazing.
It's amazing. It's much better than it was. Yeah, for sure. So it's like just like it's always disappointing to see a game shut down, especially when it did have some sort of promise. But at the end of the day, it's really the fault of just both the devs that didn't listen or didn't do the research, and the companies that try to shoehorn in a new game, just for the fact that they have their own version of the Call of Duty. Ubisoft doesn't do really like only real games Ubisoft currently has that probably make it money is Siege, and that's about it. Like I don't like, and even then they're fuck up Siege
that fan base. Yeah,
they fuck that up all the time. They just reworked Blackbeard for like the 800th time and made a whole season about it. And it's like, bro, you're running out of ideas. We can see it.
Just come out with Siege 2, man. Get that refresh going.
That's like, it's not even that I want a Siege 2. It's just that I don't want, like, if I go back to it now, I'm not gonna have a good time. It's gonna just be like there's gonna be two different metas now. Too much shit has changed. I've been gone for so long. Like it's just like if I go back, it's just to play with the boys and mob out. I'm not gonna get super into it. It's just can't. And that's the issue with hero shooters in general. If you're not staying up to date with the metas and shit, you're kind of just like go back and you're just kind of lost unless you have like a bunch of friends that are going to explain everything to you. So I don't know. I think XDefiant had its shot in the spotlight for a bit, and it fumbled the bag.
Didn't capitalize on it. Didn't capitalize on it. Like it's just like you got to entice your players to play your game. You gotta do it. It's just like I said, I said it on a prior podcast when we talked about the First Descendant. It's like the First Descendant wants to be like Destiny. And I remember saying this.
Destiny Warframe. That's what the impressions I got from it.
But it doesn't know. It didn't do anything that makes those two games great. And that's the problem with all these games. Like the problem with XDefiant is like it wants to be like Call of Duty, but it's not doing the things that make Call of Duty great and implementing something better. Like Marvel Rivals, just from like the window test, like looking in from the outside, looking in, like it looks appealing. Like if I was an Overwatch player that wasn't really in a comfortable space with Overwatch, I would be looking at the game like, yo, I'm excited to play that. Like I want to jump into that. And I want to be there. I want to be all in on that. With XDefiant, it was very hard for me. And I thank God that I'd only spent like $20 in that game. Like I didn't spend that much.
Usually you ball out, just drop all the money on there.
Yeah, I do. But I only spent $20 because I wanted to. My thing with these games now is it's like I need y'all to prove to me that it's going to be worth it. Like Throne and Liberty, I see the money that I put into it as an investment. Like that's a game that I'm going to have some time with. It's going to have some longevity. I haven't played it since Black Ops 6 came out, but I'm definitely planning on coming back. You'll see it on the schedule very soon. Same thing with PoE 2. I bought the early access. I bought in. I mean, because I really like Diablo, and I think this game will be a really good game to fuck around and play with friends. And I really just want to experience that, man. I think all that shit is really fucking important, man. I think it's like you have to be able to, like I said, I recently put Apex down. Like I've told my community, I'm done with Apex. Like I'm not coming back to Apex. Like I've seen what I needed to see in that game. It's been 23 seasons. The only way I'll come back is my boy Crazy. You know what I mean? Wants me to play because I'll do anything for that guy, man. That's my brother. You know what I mean? So if he comes through and says, yo, man, I'm trying to get the boys back on Apex, fine, bro. I'll re-download it and get on for you. But it's like, I don't care for that game anymore. I want these devs to understand when a game is done, what to do with it. You know what I mean? What to do with it. You know what I mean? It's okay. These games don't have to last. Like, Siege does not need to be going on this fucking long, dog. Like, it just doesn't. Like, it's okay to just be like, bro, like, all right, man, we're done with this. You know what I mean? We're going to move on to the next thing, man. You know what I mean? But the hard thing for them, and I don't think they care, I know they don't care, is that they look at it like, damn, people got all this money invested and they're continuing to invest their money in this. Why would we kill this game? You know
See,
that's
like, and here's the thing. I don't have a problem if a game has a really long lifespan, right? I don't have a problem with that. The problem becomes is when you blatantly start like trying to make a copy of that and try to copy that long lifespan. Like Halo Infinite, it honestly could have just been a normal Halo game and probably would have been fine. But instead they wanted to go after a live service model because they wanted that long lifespan to make all that money. And it backfired because they didn't do the market research, didn't listen to their fans. They relied on nostalgia to sell their game, and that was it. And then they suffered the consequences for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't think it's I don't think it's just like it needs a refresh. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But like you still gotta make repairs. You still gotta tweak things here and there. And then eventually one day people just stop playing Siege. Another game will come out that'll challenge Siege. So like and the way that games have been made so far, like I'm playing Marvel Rivals right now. I'm like I could see this easily being like very good to the point where Overwatch will have a direct competitor.
Yeah.
Like
a direct competitor.
Like not like a just like a Battleborn type shit. Like like a literal like dude, you want to get on Overwatch? Like nah, bro, I want to play Rivals, dude. They got a new game mode, like shit like that. Like that's like Apex to not Fortnite, but like Warzone. You know what I mean? Like it's a direct competitor. People are gonna bounce back and forth between both games. And I could see this lasting for a long time if they keep everything consistent and they make tweaks to certain characters and shit like that.
Yeah, man. I think that game's got longevity just because it's got the Marvel IP behind it. Mm-hmm. That Marvel IP is fucking.
Yeah, there's a lot of, especially since they came out the gate with a bunch of characters, not like two. Yeah, like that's insane to me. That's a lot to balance. And I can already see they're going to need to buff some characters. They're going to need to nerf some characters. But it's like out the gate, everything's kind of just as broken as it is.
Yeah, they about the same company, NetEase. They about to drop another game. They dropping basically anime GTA. You know what I mean? That shit gonna be crazy. That shit gonna be crazy, dog. It's an open world anime GTA game with grappling hooks and shit. That shit gonna be crazy, dog. Mm-hmm. That shit gonna be crazy. So shout out to NetEase, man, because I was kind of scared with that name because I played a lot of their mobile games. They're really rough with the microtransactions. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, to end this XDefiant conversation, I'm sad because I always want to see competition. I'm happy that Overwatch has competition. I want Call of Duty to have competition. Unfortunately for XDefiant, you picked the wrong year to drop a fucking Call of Duty clone because this fucking Call of Duty is so fucking good, dog. It's just too good, bro. It's too good. You should have pushed it back or definitely dropped it like a year ago, dog. Like that game needed to come out like a while back when people were just kind of in a disgruntled space. Now I think it's just like, dog, they just dropped the new zombies map today. Like Call of Duty is just on a fucking run right now, dog. Like, and it's just
no, they got a lot of momentum going after a decent launch.
Bro, and they haven't stopped, dog, and it's killing me. It's fucking killing me, dog.
Hey, man, I'm chilling, bro. I played my fill of multiplayer. I haven't even touched zombies, so I'm like,
oh, you're dropping all these guns and shit. I'm like, yo, chill out, dog. Like, it's been a month.
I got the power drill and COD, and then I was like, all right, I'm good.
we got Ranked is all right. Ranked is all right. I mean, I've only ran one ranked session. I'm gonna get another one in this weekend. Hopefully, we hit gold. I mean, because I'm silver 2, about to be silver 3.
Is it like grind from the ground up or placements?
Grind from the ground up.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
At least I didn't do the placement shit because that shit usually makes it toxic.
Yeah, so I'm excited to grind ranked. They just made a bunch of rank changes. They brought everything to CDL standards now. So there's no Krieg, no XM4, no nothing. The only 2 ARs you can use is the AK and the Ames. The only 2 SMGs you can use the C9 and the Jackal, dog. They was on some
Rank
shit.
Call of Duty is like a foreign concept to me.
It's very competitive. That's why I like it. Like it's like they took all the bullshit out, and it's like there's no kill streak. Well, there's one kill streak. You get Hellstorm missiles. I mean, that's it. That's literally it. No UAVs, no nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, everybody gets one. You get smoke. I don't think there's smokes. Concussions and flashes, frags and semtexes. No tactical insertions or anything like that. No throwing knives. No, it's very just dumbed down. It all comes down to gun skill, map knowledge, and I like that shit, man. Like I live for that shit. I inject that shit in my veins, man. I watch that shit all day, man. I watch Nade Shot and Skunk play fucking ranked and all that shit, man. Because that shit, I mean, it's just it's good to watch, man. It's good to watch. But yeah, the end is XDefiant shit. I'm sad. RIP. Hopefully y'all enjoy it while it's still up, man. Hopefully, maybe, I don't know. Like somebody said on Twitter, like, so what if like this next season it does really good and all these people come back? Are y'all still gonna shut the game down?
They can't come back because the new registrations are gone after the 3rd.
Yeah,
so like
right,
they shut if for whatever reason XDefiant did really well in that season, they shot themselves in the foot there. I mean, like no new players can really go check it out. I mean, there are probably people that didn't even realize the game was out. It was like Concord. Like people were like, "Oh, what game came out? What? Oh, it's dead. The fuck?"
that shit. Yeah, it's a shame, dog. Like I said, competition is very good. We're seeing a lot of it right now. We got this Delta Force game. Hopefully, it's good.
Delta Force is probably going to be great.
Yeah, I think it'll be.
I just did from the casual standpoint that they added then that Battlefield style mode.
Bro, you're gonna love that extraction shooter shit.
I'm sure it'll be fun.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. If we end this podcast early enough, we're gonna play it. We're gonna play it.
No, I gotta go.
Play it. No, you're gonna play it.
I gotta go.
All right, fine. We'll play it later. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I won't play that shit. That shit good, dog. But yeah, that's the talk on XDefiant. RIP. Probably make that the title of the podcast. Or maybe with this next topic, man, let's dive into the Game Awards shit. Man.
Oh fuck!
I mean, let's hit them back to back with the bangers on this episode, man. So where do we start with this drama, dog? Where do we start?
Do
we give our nominate? Do we give our
Do you want to wait till now, or do you want to do it in the next podcast? It's up to you.
Let's do it now. Let's do our.
I don't really have a list prepared, to be honest with you.
We'll just do our predictions and we'll talk about the drama as we go, because there's a lot.
Right.
There's a lot of drama with this Game Awards list. All right, they clearly did not think about a lot of things, and they left a lot of games the fuck out, and
there's some things that don't make sense to me. Like even like if we're being very conservative and very critical of a lot of things, like it's like what the fuck, dude? Like what's going on?
All right, man. Yeah, weird shit, dog. All right, let's not hit them with the banger from the rip, right? Let's do something simple, man. Let's do best multiplayer, right?
Right.
Okay. Best multiplayer we got Call of Duty, Helldivers 2, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Tekken 8, and Warhammer. And best multiplayer is for outstanding online multiplayer gameplay and design, including co-op and massively multiplayer experiences, irrespective of game genre or platform. You know what I mean? So it's just the overall, design of the multiplayer. I don't even know why Warhammer's on this list, to be honest with you. I mean, for this joint for best multiplayer, that's weird.
What I mean, what do you mean it's weird? Like the list?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what was it again? Run it
For
back.
outstanding online multiplayer gameplay and design, including co-op. All right, so if we're including co-op, yeah, the co-op for that game is great. So all right, I see the vision. It's for best multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
You guys know where I'm going with this.
You're going to Call of Duty.
Yeah. My
I'd
second
argue
pick will be
Helldivers has a shot. Yeah, that's also another thing. It's like I noticed Helldivers didn't get a lot of nominations, and it's like, what the fuck? Like, there's a lot of like shit it did that's like no other games have done like this year at all. So it's like, what the like even the music score is like it's not even there. I think they put something else there instead, and I was just like, what the hell is going on? Like, I don't know, man. It's not. It's just not. It's not a good list. I could have sworn we've had many more games come out that were a lot better.
All right. Let's do shit. Let's do best anticipated game because we already know what that's going to.
GTA 6.
Yeah, we got Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yotai, GTA 6.
Just shut the fuck up. It's GTA 6.
Prime 4, Beyond, and Monster Hunter Wilds.
None of these fucking games, like with the exception of maybe Wilds, are gonna be like the most anticipated. And Wilds comes out next year. We don't know when GTA coming out, so that shit could not even come out next year and win most anticipated game again in the next Game Awards. Like the fuck.
If I had to go off of my own feelings, like not be obviously I want GTA 6. We all want GTA 6.
We it's not even that we want it. We just know it's that.
But what do you think is your most anticipated for next year? Let's go with our most.
Wilds. Like Wilds and Metroid Prime. Like those are the two that I look forward to.
This list is tough for me because I am looking forward to Death Stranding 2 a lot. I'm gonna go and Ghost of Yotai. Definitely Ghost of Yotai, but I think I'm gonna go with Death Stranding 2 and Metroid Prime Beyond. But I think what we both think are gonna win is GTA, obviously, man.
Yeah, it's GTA. Like everyone wants to play GTA 6 ever since those leaks and what they've showed off so far. I think a lot of the Game Awards stuff, like I don't know, man. Like I just don't think the panel thing is weird. I think they should have did just player nomination, like voting.
Yeah, they went with journalists and people who have certain interests in stuff. Like
there's like a weird pride group in there for some reason. I'm like, what is that got to do with gaming?
Like this shit's crazy, dog.
The Hollywood, what is it? The fucking new. What is it? What's that paper, too? A fucking New York Times is in there. I was like, why are you in here? You guys don't cover games like that.
And when they do, they're kind of ass. Yeah.
It's literally just, hey, this game made a lot of money this year. Yeah. Everyone's playing it. Check it out. And it's a free advert. That's basically what it is.
Yeah, man. It's. We'll talk about that at the end. The best adaptation.
Was that TV shows? Shit.
Yeah. So we got Arcane, Fallout, Knuckles, Dragon,
I lied.
Tomb Raider. Yeah, it's Fallout for me.
Fallout. Yeah, Fallout to me was probably the hardest one to adapt. Just because.
What do you think is going to win? Arcane?
Probably Arcane. But I want Fallout to win. Like realistically, like
Arcane too.
Arcane is really good. But Fallout, I feel like because it's live action, it's a lot harder to nail everything, and they did it perfectly.
Yeah, they did it great. They did a great job.
It's great. It's an original story too. It's not a 1-to-1, like for whatever. It's like
do we care
it's not
about
like Last of Us.
Do we care about content creator of the year? I do not.
I mean, it's always nice to appreciate.
Shout out Queso, man. He's on there. Yeah, we're just gonna say that Queso.
That gym arc is gonna be legendary.
Oh yeah, he's about to get in the gym. What do you think is best esports game?
What is
CS:GO,
is it League of Legends?
League
It's fucking League of Legends.
Mobile Legends, Bang Bang, and Valorant.
League of Legends or Valorant. It's both Riot games on that shit. They like control the esports scene.
They do, man. They do it the best, dog. I'm
Yeah,
not
because
gonna
they've had
lie.
plenty of years of experience, but like
Yeah,
those games are just entertaining to watch as well as play.
yeah, they are. I love watching League of Legends. I don't like playing it. I say it all the time.
No, I don't like playing it because community toxic as fuck.
Yeah. What you think gonna win this? I'm going with Counter Strike.
Yeah, I'm keeping it with League. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like that shit wins almost every year.
I forget what won last year, but
Hmm?
I forget what won last year, but best esports athlete. I know none of these niggas.
Yeah, I don't follow esports enough to really care too much about it. But I
Shout
think
out
that's
Faker. He's on there. Faker's on there.
I think that's pretty much the issue with kind of like current day esports is that like unless you're in like one of the already established like League of Legends style games or whatever, it's like hard to get new games into the scene.
Here's where we get a little let you know what we're talking about with the spookiness. So we're gonna go with best RPG next. We got Dragon's Dogma 2.
Okay.
Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree.
No.
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Yeah.
Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth and Metaphor Ray Fantasio.
I haven't played Metaphor. I've heard good things.
I've heard very good things.
Elden again. You know how I feel about DLCs. They shouldn't be in there unless it's a DLC category.
Yeah.
I know it's kind of slim pickings for RPGs this year, but like, come on. Why is that? Why is that there?
I think it's gonna go to Metaphor because it didn't get nominated for. Let me see if it did.
Well, it got nominated for Game of the Year, so I
didn't
can
get nominated for Game of the Year. So I know it'll get. It might. Be,
oh, it didn't?
Nah. The Game of the Year this year is spooky, dog.
Like, oh shit, dude!
I can be pissed in 3 different ways, dog. It's crazy. But what do you think is gonna win this? I say Metaphor because it's not for Game of the Year. I would like to see Dragon's Dogma 2 win because Dragon's Dogma 2 was a really good game. It just had a rough.
Yeah, it had a lot of weird issues, but like I'm gonna go with Metaphor because I feel like Dragon Age Dogma was pretty cool, but it wasn't like it wasn't appealing to me to where I wanted to like.
No, you gotta play that, John.
Go drop everything I'm doing to go play it.
No, you gotta play that, John, dog. I'm trying to tell you, when it goes on sale for like $40-$30, pick that joint up.
Think about it. Is it on Game Pass? Because I have Game Pass.
Nah,
dude. The fuck, man.
It's worth the money, dog. Like that is a good game, and they're adding like more classes and shit now, and it's all free. Like they doing right by their game. But yeah, I think Metaphor is gonna win that. Let's just dive into it, man. Fuck it, we'll do all the other things after this. All right. I mean, let's jump into Game of the Year, dog. The controversial Game of the Year. Oh, Metaphor is on Game of the Year.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, it is. Oh shit! So
that's why I was like, I'm pretty sure it was, dude.
There's 6 games for Game of the Year.
Oh, technically 5.
Yeah. Yeah, but for every other category, there's only 5. But there's 6 for Game of the Year, and 6 for Best Narrative or Game Direction or whatever it is. But Game of the Year this year is weird, man. And this is the title for it. Recognizing a game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields. We got Astrobot. We got Balatro. We got Black Myth Wukong. We got Elden Ring, Shadow of the fucking Erd Tree. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And Metaphor Refantasio.
What was
Y'all
that last
should
one?
already know my pick on this list.
What was that last one?
Metaphor Refantasio.
All right. So one, Elden Ring shouldn't be there at all.
At all.
Shouldn't be there at all. It doesn't make any sense. It's not that I don't think it deserves an award for DLC or expansion. I think it definitely does. I think it could be, in there for guests, like you I think the problem I'm having is that you need to play the base game in order to access that DLC portion of it, right? Like, make no mistake, I'm not gonna be like, oh man, hate on Elden Ring because it's popular to hate on a popular game. No, it makes no sense. I can't buy Elden Ring right now and just play the DLC. I have to beat Moog, which I only found where he was by accident. I went down a hole.
Yeah.
And and I beat his ass. And then I was like, oh, that was the guy I had to beat for the DLC, I think. And got a whole achievement and everything. So like you need to buy the base game. You get through a good portion of the base game to access the DLC. Most Souls games are like that. Bloodborne is like that. Everything is like that. From FromSoft produces with the Souls franchise. But like, I think it's crazy to me that you have a DLC on there because it sets a bad precedent. Because what if Fortnite has a really good season? Is that getting Game of the Year now? Like, get Fortnite season 1 Game of the Year? Like, that shit makes no sense. I think DLCs, expansions, ongoing seasons and shit for like online shooter or live service style games should have its own category. I 100% they should be recognized when they do really well this year or that year. But I think it's crazy that you have a DLC on here that is taking up a spot for like other games. Like, you could have Helldivers in there, you could have Space Marine in there, you could have literally any other actual game that came out this year, original IP, and you choose to go with Elden Ring. Like, what the fuck is like going on over there?
Listen, I'm gonna say this. All right, I'm gonna say two things because I agree with everything Eknight said. Everything Eknight said is he didn't tell you one lie, dog. Cyberpunk should have been up there last year if we doing this shit now.
God, I said it last year. I said if they put DLC up there, it's fucking cooked. Like, there's no. Cyberpunk should not be up there. It had its chance.
Absolutely not.
It came out as a full-fledged game, advertised as a full-fledged game. It was ass on release because of all the bugs and all the like missing content that was supposed to be in there, like quality of life shit, and then fucking like just shit that they advertised in a lot of the things they like dropped. And did it get better? Yeah, it did. I can see it did. Did they release a fire-ass DLC? Yeah. BLAZEDxENFERNO played it. He said he almost cried because of the one of the endings.
Right. Yeah,
like
right.
that's literally, bro. Like, no. At the end of the day, it could be the best fucking DLC in the world. It could literally be life changing, but it should not get Game of the Year, DLC
Absolutely.
of the Year, or Expansion of the Year. Make a category.
Yeah, I forget they like a couple years ago for Witcher 3, Blood and Wine got nominated for something like Best Narrative or something, but it wasn't Game of the
Year.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine.
That's like fine. It's a narrative that makes sense.
It's in ongoing game. Was
it's
Cyberpunk.
Best Game of the Year usually implies it's a brand new release.
Yeah, of that year.
Like, you can't.
Elden Ring came out in 2022. All right.
Yeah, dude. It's Elden Ring is goated. I love the game, but it should be in its own category. We shouldn't be muddying the waters. It should be very clear cut.
Number 2, because like I said, Eknight ain't lying about nothing he's saying. Like, this shit shouldn't even be on here. I'm a snap if Erdtree wins. I'm a snap.
The crazy part is because of how the Game Awards are being decided this year, there's a high chance that it might win.
It's crazy.
Player voting only counts for 10% of the vote, whereas the panel judges count for 90%. So basically what is going to happen is that these random jagoffs are going to choose the Game of the Year instead of the actual popular vote, which is what the Game of the Year should be.
Yeah.
Y'all want to throw a bunch of bullshit and nominations in there? Fine, let us vote and decide of what you picked.
Yeah, man.
Don't take that choice away from the people that actually watch your shit. Like, the whole appeal of that is like, oh, who's gonna win? Because everyone voted. It's not, Sally just really likes Erdtree because it's just they have a nice dress in this one boss drops, and after that it's like, cool, like that's my Game of the Year because my drip is great. It's like, no, dude, like, man. Let the people vote. Let them decide.
Number two, I don't care how good this motherfucking card game is. Why the fuck is it here, and why the fuck is Helldivers 2 not there instead? Like I'm just not getting that. I don't care how good
I
this
haven't
game
played.
is.
I haven't played Balatro. I can't speak to it. But the thing is that it does fill the recommended categories of an actual fucking game. So I can't sit here and go, "Damn, this mobile game is really just out here stealing a spot from another game." But it's like if it's a really
Helldivers 2
well
should have
done,
been on
if
there.
it's really well done, as everyone has been saying, because literally I've been talking to people who played it and they said it's super addicting, it's super fun. But that's what I'm saying. Like it's a sleeper hit. I didn't hear shit about this game until like Game Awards
Shouldn't be
got
there,
announced.
man. I'm sorry. I'm gonna stick to it. Why the fuck isn't
Well,
Helldivers
okay,
2 up there?
but elaborate. Say why? Why?
Because why the fuck isn't Helldivers 2 up there?
I agree. I think Helldivers should be there instead of Erdtree. But at the same time, why do you think Balatro doesn't deserve a spot? That's what I'm asking. Because it feels it's better. It's a better category than the actual Erdtree shit.
All right, then take out fucking Elden Ring and put fucking Helldivers 2. Helldivers 2.
I
As
agree.
much as I have my issues with Helldivers 2, all right, and we'll talk about when we do our personal game of the year list. I have a lot of love and respect for that game. I just deleted it off my console today.
Damn.
Like I just got rid of it just because I was cleaning up and getting ready for all these new games and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but it was just like I really liked Helldivers 2. Like that game from day I'd spent 15 hours on it when it first came out because I did a 24-hour stream. So I spent like 15 hours of that stream playing Helldivers 2, and I loved every minute of it. Yeah, I only have like 50 hours in it now, like looking back. But just like I said when I did my review, I got my money's worth at that game literally the first day I played it. Like I got my money's worth. Like that game is great to me. And if I ever choose to come back, which I know I will eventually, you know what I mean? I'm gonna come back. You know what I mean? That game literally carried the year up until the summer when the summer really got hot.
And to be honest, the only fumble it had was because of the fucking Sony shit. Like that was literally the Sony shit and the balancing. That was it. Other than that, they've been consistent with content drops and everything in between. And they're still adding new enemy types, new biomes, new shit like that, like every fucking few months.
Like
So
it'll be crazy if fucking Astrobot wins this because like across the board, people love that fucking Astrobot shit.
But it's because it's a reminiscent of a time where the Super Mario 64 was really popular. Like I could see Astrobot winning legitimately. Like no bullshit.
It's a great love letter to like PlayStation fans.
The problem is that I have to side eye whatever decision is made because of how their voting is being done. It's like this is really what the people decided, or is this really just what the sponsors wanted? So
because Black Myth Wukong ain't gonna win because China. Like I just know it.
You think the bias against China is too strong for that to win?
Yeah, because Stellar Blade would have been up there.
That's another game that could have been up there. That's you're right. You're right. Why is Stellar Blade not up there?
Because it's too lewd, man. It's too much nudity and
too much ass to handle.
You sexualize. Yeah, there's a lot of ass in there. You
know? There's nothing wrong with ass in your game as long as the game is fucking good.
That game is great.
It could be man ass for all I fucking know, dude. Like, is the game good?
It's great. It is phenomenal. That game is great. I've been playing it on stream. I love it. It's great. It's fun. Very good. Very good game. Yeah, man. I don't like this list at all, man. At all. The Shadow the Erdtree shit rubbed me the wrong way a little bit. The card game, I ain't play. I'm gonna play it one day.
You should just give it a shot before you sit here and write it off. Because like I've been hearing too much. I haven't heard any negative things about it. That's why I'm like, okay, I can see a mobile game getting out there. It's not the end of the world if it does. Like I mean, technically, Genshin Impact was like a mobile game port. So like you can. We've gotten to the point where mobile gaming isn't just fucking Candy Crush anymore, but it's all full blown RPGs. Right. So like
I'll give it a try one day. I'll give it a try. But what do you think? What do you think out of this list, right? Is the game you would want to win?
Out of what I've actually played, which I played. I don't think I played any of these, to be
You didn't
honest.
play none of them. I've
No.
only played. I'm
not even close to
one
getting
of
to
them.
the I could technically start the DLC for Erdtree, but like I just want to play the base game of Elden Ring right now. So like no, honestly I'd probably just give it to either Metaphor or Astrobot. Like
Y'all
those are
know
the
what
two,
I want to win.
those are the two games.
You know what I want to win, man. Final Fantasy Rebirth was the very good game. Very good game.
Yeah, I mean, like that's also like another point of contention I've been hearing is that people are tired of remakes getting Game of the Year. The thing is that like the difference between a DLC expansion and a remake is that fucking Rebirth is a whole different game. It's same Final Fantasy story plot line, but it's like redone. Like if you were compared to the original Final Fantasy to this one, you're like these are two different games.
I'm trying to tell you, it's not a remake. I mean,
it's not. I mean, it is in the truest sense of the world. It is. No, it is. It's a remake, but they actually took the remake part of it and went ham with it. That's the thing. I'll
tell you off stream why it's not a remake, but I'm trying to tell the listener without telling the listener. If you watch my stream, not a remake. You know what I mean? It's definitely not a remake. It's a remake.
Shut the fuck up, dude. It's a really good. They took an IP. When Halo gets rebooted for PlayStation, it's gonna be a remake, regardless of how they frame it.
That last 3 hours of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is fucking chef's kiss. It's amazing. It's so great. It's so good. It's amazing. It is the best I've ever played of a Final Fantasy game. Is that last 3 hours though? So good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so good, man. You know what I mean, I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm not gonna talk about the end of that game or anything until it comes out on PC and like maybe 6 months after that. You know what I mean, so y'all got time. But what I would like to see win is Final Fantasy. But what I think is gonna win, I'm not gonna lie to you. It might be Astrobot, cuz you know what I mean. But listen, I'm gonna just keep it real with y'all because I know Jeff Keighley, man. I know that motherfucker, man. I know what he cares about. I know what he stands for. I'm going with Elden Ring. Elden Ring winning that joint. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Just read from the start.
Yeah. Elden Ring is winning that joint. So what are you picking? You said Astrobot.
Either Astrobot or Metaphor.
All right. I'm typing our predictions out too, so we can talk about them when we actually do the podcast. Best game direction, which is basically saying like awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. Now, this is where Elden Ring's really going. If it don't win Game of the Year, it's winning here. It's winning here, period. So I'm going Elden Ring again. Yeah,
what are the options though?
Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring, Final Fantasy, and Metaphor. The same games we had in the previous fucking
Game of the Year. The runner-up Game of the Year, I guess. Fucking probably just Wukong.
Because Warhammer didn't come out, or Helldivers, or Stellar Blade. You know what I mean?
Yeah, none of those really popular games that were loved by their communities. Yeah, Dragon Age. Yeah, where's the Dragon Age nominations?
Dogma.
What did they get nominated for?
Dragon Age? Did it get nominated?
I think they got one.
I doubt it.
No, I think they got like accessibility.
Maybe. What do you think's going to win this? I'm going Elden Ring.
For direction? Yeah. I was going to say Wukong because it's something new.
Okay.
I can see Balatro winning that too because it's kind of just like, whoever's like, trying to innovate the best, really. So Wukong had a lot of things that I think it probably would have done well or innovated off of like Elden Ring style games.
Let's go best narrative. This is for outstanding storytelling and narrative development in a game. We got Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, Metaphor ReFantazio, Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2, and Silent Hill 2. Final Fantasy's winning this one. This is
I was gonna say, like, I don't think any of the other games that you mentioned were really super heavy on the narrative.
Yeah, except for that joint.
Yeah, Metaphor. Yeah. Well, I'm assuming Metaphor has a good narrative. I haven't played like
So
any
we
of those
both
games.
going with Final Fantasy.
Yeah, I'll go with Final Fantasy on this one. I'll give it a dub.
Yeah, man, that story was really good. Best art direction, we got Astrobot, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring, Shadow the Erd Tree, Metaphor Refantasio, and never even heard of it. Yeah, I ain't never even heard of it. What you
Wait,
think,
what?
man?
Metaphor?
It's called Never.
Yeah.
It's called Never. I never even heard of it.
As a certified knee slapper, if I ain't heard one myself.
I'm going with Metaphor, dog.
Yeah, I would say either Metaphor or what was the other one?
Astrobot, Elden
Astrobot,
Ring.
yeah, I can see Astrobot.
But yeah, I'm gonna go with Metaphor because I think Metaphor looks pretty, man. And if it doesn't win Game of the Year, Best Game Direction, it's gonna go there. This one is easy but hard at the same time. It's the only category that Stellar Blade got nominated for too, by the way.
Really?
Best score in music for outstanding music, inclusive of score or original song and or licensed soundtrack. We got Astrobot, Final Fantasy, Metaphor, Silent Hill 2, and Stellar Blade. This is a really good list, by the way, because Astrobot has a great soundtrack from what I heard. Final Fantasy's got Nobu on the beat. That motherfucker goes crazy. All right. Yeah, Metaphor Reef. It's an Atlas game. They got good music always. Silent Hill 2 had a really good soundtrack.
That's also another game I didn't surprise didn't get Game of the Year.
Game of the Year. Me neither.
Because Resident Evil got it last time. Like it got nominated. So I was like, the fuck? How did this not get in there?
I gotta play that game. I'm waiting until next year though.
Yeah, Silent Hill, I felt like you would have jumped on immediately.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna play it for spooky season this year, but I was like, I'm gonna wait.
Bro, fuck it. If we're just like throwing rules to the wall and just letting anything in Game of the Year, let's re-nominate Alien Isolation for Best Horror.
That's right. Stellar Blade has a really good soundtrack too. Like I've been jamming.
I'm surprised Helldivers isn't in there either, because Helldivers soundtrack was fucking fire.
I mean, it does play the same song over and over again.
Yeah, but there was different tracks depending on what like planets you were on, and then also like extraction themes and shit like that. It's just the main theme is everyone that recognizes.
Yeah, that shit.
And that score goes fucking hard.
It does, but they play that shit every.
Shit makes me patriotic every time I hear it.
Shooting niggas, dum 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 dum.
It's like, all right, dog. It's like, yeah, but that's what you want. You want that fucking epic. It's like, bro, I just killed a regular ass bot. It's like it's the only dude here. It's like, it's
like, all right, bro. Like I get it, man.
I get it. I'm the shit.
Across the field, ain't shit happening.
I'm mad motivated now. I gotta go kill some more bots. Like
that shit do go hard, dog.
That's why I'm surprised I didn't get a fucking nomination. Like
especially
it's
when
like
you fighting for your life at the extraction.
When you had an entire 3 months of fucking patriotic memes for that fucking game, like Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah,
like
man. Jeff Keighley, man.
What is going on? Like, I don't know, man.
What you think winning this joint though?
I don't know, dude. I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't heard the scores of any of these games.
I think best soundtrack is going to going to Final Fantasy, man. Easy.
I could see that. Easily. Just because it's that Final Fantasy VII battle theme.
Yeah.
And the victory theme too.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So you going with that too?
Yeah, that's what I'll go with that.
Even though I feel like Stellar Blade would win this joint because it didn't get nominated for anything else. But
I thought you said it got nominated for art direction.
No, that's the only one it got nominated for. That's what I was saying. Best
score
in music. Yeah. Best performance. Oh, these are all characters.
Oh yeah, no, go through that. Those are the ones I'm like curious about.
All right, so awarded to individual for voiceover, acting, motion, and or performance capture. We got Brianna White for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I think that's Aerith.
Okay.
I seen her little shit on YouTube. She got some shit with her. We got Hannah Tell from Life is Strange Double Exposure.
Never played that game, so I
We
can't
got
say it.
Humberly Gonzalez, the main character for Star Wars Outlaws.
Really?
Yeah, I know. That was crazy to me.
Yeah,
We got
okay.
Luke Roberts for Silent Hill 2. I think he plays the main character.
I can see that.
And then we got Melina Jurgens. She plays Senua in Senua Saga Hellblade 2. I think that's
really?
going to win. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that'll win.
I don't know. You played it. Does it seem like
I didn't
she's
play.
like?
I didn't play Hellblade 2.
Oh, Senua. Fuck, I got it.
Yeah.
You said Hellblade. I heard Stellar Blade.
Oh yeah.
I could see that because that one's more of like a movie style game.
Yeah.
It's not really a game anymore.
Yeah, the schizophrenia in that joint is crazy.
Yeah,
So,
you gotta. I could see her winning that shit easy.
Like you really gotta to make people believe you got fucking schizophrenia. You gotta really act.
You gotta really be crazy.
You gotta really be fucking out of your mind.
No, but I could see that being a hard role to pull off. So I could see her winning that if she did that well.
All right, we'll do one more, man. One more. We'll do two more. We'll do games for impact. I mean, these are games with for a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. All right, I kind of don't want to do this one. Man.
Yeah, but let's do it since you already said it. Fuck it.
All right, we got Closer the Distance. Never heard of it.
Nope.
Indica. Never heard of it.
Nope.
We got Never. I never heard of it. I got Life is Strange Double Exposure.
Don't know how that has an impact, but all right.
I got because it's got stuff in it.
You know what? There's no Helldivers on there?
It's got Hellblade 2.
Fuck that. Helldivers literally actually donated to charity because we did shit in the game. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? That was an impactful moment.
And then they got Tales of Kenzara.
I don't know what that is.
Listen, I don't know. I don't know what's going to win that joint. I don't care anymore because I don't even know what the half of these games are, man.
Real shit. It's not that I'm hating on those games. It's just like I just don't know.
Yeah,
I've never heard of them. I don't know what they do. I think Hellblade's literally the only thing I've heard of.
All right, here's that was where it. I know.
I don't even want to play that game.
Yeah.
But that's.
Oh, my fault. Go ahead.
No. Go.
I was just saying because here's where your game's going to win. Best ongoing game. Awarded to a game for outstanding development of an ongoing content that evolves the player's experience over time. Mm-hmm. We got Destiny 2, Diablo 4, Final Fantasy 14 that's been on there for the past 5 years. I'm tired of seeing that game. Fortnite, which has been on there for the past 8 years. I'm tired of seeing that game. And Helldivers 2. I'm going with Helldivers 2.
I would like Helldivers to win, but I can see Destiny 2 winning because of the Witness DLC.
I would see Fortnite more than that, man. I ain't gonna lie. So you're going with what are you going with?
I'm going with Helldivers, but I know that Destiny might win this.
Yeah.
Fortnite always fucking wins though.
Yeah.
It's either Fortnite or another popular already established IP. I don't have a problem with that because that's what the category's for. Yeah. But like it's like it is sad to see that it's like basically just one of the top 3 online games like Call of Duty or some shit. And I'm like, come on, man. But I think Helldivers deserve the win based on how it's set up as a live service game and how much drama it's gone through, both with like its own personal shit and then like the end game stuff.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, no, I would like Helldivers to win.
All right. And then last one we're going to do is best community support, man. Recognizing the game for outstanding community support, transparency, responsiveness, inclusive of social media activity, and game updates and patches. We got Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite. I'm tired of seeing this fucking game. Helldivers 2, and No Man's Sky. I
can see No Man's Sky. Yeah, I was going to say No Man's Sky's come a long way since launch.
Yeah, man. That's so coming back to stream soon. Yeah, I mean, that's coming back to stream soon. I'll be playing that very soon. on stream because like that game deserves it. That game definitely deserves a run back. You know what I mean? So we both going with No Man's?
Yeah, I'm going with No Man's on that one.
All right. And yeah, man, if you want to see all the categories, just look up the Game Awards online. We just did a few of them. We'll run it back in I forget when this thing starts, when it happens.
It's on the 7th, I think.
Okay, so yeah.
It's pretty soon.
Yeah, we just put our shit in, so now you know. Sparking Zero is on the list, by the way, for y'all.
For fighters, yeah, I think that one's gonna win for fighters.
Nah, I think Tekken 8's gonna get that.
Nah, because they had a lot of issues with Tekken 8 recently, and Sparking Zero had a lot of
Sparking Zero had a lot of drop off too. Like,
I mean, all fighter games usually do, but yeah.
Oh, it's December 12th, by the way. December 12th.
Okay.
So next Thursday. So I mean, by the next time when we do our big podcast, which me and I gotta talk, we gotta talk about that. I should have talked about that before we started this. Fuck, I should have talked. If we're gonna just do it right here on the podcast, fuck, we're gonna get a live reaction. So for episode 100, what I want to do is do a live podcast.
Yeah,
we talked about it when we did episode 50. We want to do a live podcast.
Yeah,
I want to do it on Friday the 27th.
Okay.
Are you down?
I mean, what day is you said it's Friday the 27th? I don't have anything planned, but I definitely probably will be working that day, like in the morning time. So it depends on when you want to do that and then what time I have to go.
You want to do it around like
the earlier in the evening, the better. That's kind of where I'm at.
Okay, so you down for like maybe like 4 o'clock?
Like 5?
Yeah, that's perfect. 5 is
5
perfect.
or 6, yeah. Because I don't know 6.
Let's do 6.
Okay, yeah, because I don't know when.
Elfie's on the West Coast, so I mean,
yeah, that works out.
Yeah,
I don't know when I'm gonna get off work. I gotta go if I'm going into work the next day. So like, it really just depends.
I've been hitting to it on stream, so I'm gonna just say it here too. Fuck it. I'll be doing a 24-hour stream that night, so I'll be there.
Jesus Christ.
Well, I mean, I'll be there. It's the last Friday of the year, man. So I gotta go crazy, man. Last Friday of the year, man. But yeah, that was it for the Game Awards. Hopefully fucking Elden Ring doesn't win shit. That's what I would love to see. I'd actually love to see that. If Elden Ring doesn't win a fucking thing, that'd be great. That'd make my fucking day, dog.
Bro, it's not even I don't want the DLC to win anything.
Hold up. I would log into Reddit, go to the Elden Ring or whatever subreddit and talk hella shit. I'm going right on there to talk.
You get banned in like 2 seconds.
Dog, massive amounts of shit, dog. Just because I can't stand you motherfuckers, man. I hate y'all, man. Because the fucking Elden Ring community is like, oh, it was that good. It was a game. It was damn near a game. No, it wasn't. It was a fucking DLC, man. Fuck y'all and that goddamn DLC. Never played.
As much as I love Elden Ring, I don't think it deserves another shot at Game of the Year through a DLC. If they had come out with Elden Ring 2,
yeah, I mean,
but it's not called Elden Ring 2, it's called Shadow of the Erdtree.
Yeah,
all right. Because if that's the case, why didn't like Breath of the Wild, like a bunch of not Breath of the Wild, but like fucking bunch of other DLCs that's come out in the prior past ever get nominated, and that's basically it. Like,
yeah, we just creating a problem with this shit, man.
It's just I think he just did it to create drama to get people talking about the Game Awards again. But that's the thing, people always talk about the Game Awards, so like, why the fuck would you even like think this would be like a positive thing, man?
Yeah, a lot of people think that. A lot of people think that, hey, he just did it for the drama, and they know it's not gonna win. But I have a strong feeling it's gonna win because the like Jeff Keighley's a dick rider.
I don't think it's gonna win. Like Game of the Year, but I think it will win a bunch of categories that it's nominated in.
Man, fuck that game, man. All right, but yeah, we moving on, man. Man.
Okay.
What you want to do next, man? You pick the next topic, man. Because I know you
Fucking
had.
know, dude.
I know you brought some stuff to the table for this one, man. You did.
I know, dude.
I mean,
I was gonna talk about the games journalism thing, but I think we kind of like covered a little bit of it with how the Game Awards is operating this year, because a lot of it is.
yeah, we touched on that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's my main issue with like a lot of games journalism nowadays is literally it's not even for gamers. It's just for like it's puff pieces and shit. It's like it's negative positivity. You know what I mean? Like not overly critical, not willing to talk about like nuances and shit with newer games. I mean, I didn't Black Myth Wukong get a lot of like crazy hate by games journalists. Not because the game was bad, but because they were trying to say that developers were like sexist or some crazy shit.
It was that, but it was also like there's a lot of pandering towards that game too. Like you tell, like, some people got paid out because from people I know that actually played the game, they said that it is Black Myth Wukong is kind of mid, dog. Like a lot of people were saying, like, yeah, it's kind of fucking mid, dog. Like, you know what I mean? Like it has a lot of. I heard it has a lot of like technical issues. It is like the company's first game, so it's like you expect these things, but they say a lot of the things just don't feel good. Like the game that it's trying to be, it doesn't. Like somebody I know that played it like damn near all the way through and beat it twice. Literally told me it doesn't know what kind of game it wants to be. And it's like really confusing because it's like it wants to be the Souls like, but then it wants to be like a game like God of War. Yeah, like it doesn't know what it wants to do.
Yeah.
And then it has areas where it allows you to explore and it's like really like, active and stuff. And then you got areas where it's not. So it's like there's a lot of like glaring problems.
So like there's a lot of healthy criticism you could give it.
Yeah.
Like it's not a perfect game.
Like I heard it's like at best like an 8. Like a 9, like an 8 is like the common consensus. But like the people that are saying like this is a 10 out of 10 game of the year, like, nah, I don't believe them people. They just this Souls like meta shit has gotta go, man. I'm tired of it.
Yeah, I am getting like this. As long as you do it well, I don't have a problem with it, but I am getting tired of everything being kind of like a Souls like where you die and do it over again. It's like you can come up with your own style of game, Dylan.
Yeah,
you don't have to ride the Elden Ring train. Like the reason why Elden Ring's successful is because it's the only one that did that shit for a very long time.
Yeah.
So like having like 1,000 Souls like games come out and going, oh, this one's gonna take the cake, and like the Souls killer, you can't do anything like Miyazaki, dog. I'm sorry, you can't.
Yeah,
you'd have to literally rip the game one for one.
Yeah,
and like that dude's been cut. That dude's like, I'm not good at my own games. So like, he's like, I'm ass at Elden Ring, and I'm like, he's like, but as long as I can get through it, I think it's playable. That's how he develops his games, and I'm like, that's what's up, bro. You actually play your own fucking shit. That's why it's good.
Yeah, man. But them Japanese motherfuckers, they have a different.
But the main thing is like, because we talked about a lot of Dragon Age: The Veilguard. And a lot of like, there's been mixed criticisms between like some players saying the game's good, but they don't like all the DEI shit that was put in there. And then some people are saying the game is just straight garbage and stuff like that. Yeah. I think a lot of the reporting that I've seen from actual like journalistic output, was it like IGN gave it an 8, and like they gave Concord like a 7, and it's like. It's like I get there's more than one reviewer doing it. It's all subjective and shit like that. But it feels like consistently that they just like prop up games that don't really look good or they don't really feel good to play.
And
then games that are like fun to play or interesting to play, they kind of just give like harsh criticisms to.
Yeah, and try to find controversy and shit.
Yeah, they try to start controversy and I kind of hate the politics in games journalism. Like, I don't think it should be in there. I don't think we should be sitting here talking about politics in games journalism when the subject matter is about a video game, a fictional universe.
I agree.
Like, I don't think you should be like. I mean, you write whatever you want at the end of the day. It's your fucking piece. But like, I don't think it should be in there. Like, I don't think we should be talking about it at all. Like, it shouldn't be relating. You shouldn't be trying to like parallel shit from real life to express a point in a fictional universe. I feel like
agree
you should just be like,
100%.
hey, is the game good? Yeah. All right. Why is it good? This is why it's good. This is why it's not good. Like that's it. You don't have to like give a personal excerpt about shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like, oh man, I really
I'm
vibe
black,
with this.
so there needs to be I need to be able to understand the main character.
Well, that's
and because they're white, I
more
don't
like just
understand.
having an authentic experience versus something that is just shoo in there for the pandering. That's a totally different thing. That's like more of like a games developer issue than a games journalist issue. Like they can say that all they want, and if that's how they feel about the game, that's fine. But I hate when they try to like politicize it and then create controversy for it, like rage bait type shit.
Yeah.
And that's the issues I have with a lot of like games journalism nowadays. And I
Well,
feel like you're not giving us the critical information for whether or not we should be playing this game. It's like, oh, Black Myth Wukong's developer may have been sexist or said something weird, and it's like, okay, what's your proof? All right, poorly translated Google Translate shits, and I'm like, okay, that doesn't
got to do with the game though.
What is this guy? Yeah, but is the game bad? Like,
is the game good?
Like we like there's plenty of you can make plenty of arguments about why you shouldn't play a game because of ethical issues, but like you have a cell phone, dog. Like there's plenty of ethical issues with a cell phone. Like there's plenty of issues with a lot of how electronics are developed and made off the like third world countries and shit like that. Like you can't sit here and say this shit from your smartphone and then like get mad and butthurt because you don't agree with how the developer or what the developer is doing or where they came from or shit like that. Like I just think generally, if you're a games journalist, are you talking about the game? All right, do you think the game is good? Why is the game is good? Does the Pokemon Gen 3 remakes have too much water? Fine. That's your opinion, bro. It's a dog shit opinion, but that's your opinion. But you're not politicizing it, and that's all I care about. Like I just want to know what you thought of the game, how it makes you feel. Is it impactful? Can you relate to the characters? Do some of the characters just feel kind of shitty? Like that's it. That's it. I don't need a 20-minute rant about like the political state of America right now because I know everything's a little fucked. But it's like, come on, dude. I play games to escape. I don't play games to be motivated to go do some shit. Like that's the main reason why. But I feel like games journalism has just kind of like gone from like talking about games and being really nerdy and shit to like just social issues. And it's like I don't want to deal with social issues when I'm playing a video game. Man. I just want to shoot my gun and go burr. I want to go kill bugs, like stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's just too much.
Are you ready, man? You ready, man?
Go for it.
Can I give him my opinion, man? Because I agree with you 1,000%, brother. And I'm glad at everything you said, man. I'm glad at everything you said, man. Everything, because I texted you about it the other day, man. Like games journalism is just, I've had a talk with Elfie. We talked about it on the podcast when she was here with us, and I talked about how we want to do reviews and stuff like that, and we want to do gaming reviews because I think now we live in this weird space where it is very hard to tell the genuineness behind people's feelings and thoughts on the internet nowadays because people are so easily swayed because of things that have nothing to do directly with the art. And the art we're talking about is the game, right? We're talking about the game. I mean, I don't care about your political background or what you believe in or anything. Is this game fun? Did you enjoy it? What didn't you enjoy about it? What didn't you like? What is good about it? What is it? You know what I mean? Was it too bright? Was it like that's the things that I want to know. And that's the problem that gets me mad. And we've talked about this when Elfie was here, where like modern day YouTube, like games journalism in general. I think journalism is dead. I personally
think like genuine journalism. Yeah,
I think it's dead. I think it's
rare to find someone that's actually speaking, like trying to tell you the truth rather than just a narrative or a bias that is influenced by a larger like corporation or some shit like that.
There's no good source of like in the mainstream, right? If you do your research and you dive into things and go to Google and read up on, other things, you might find some respectable sources of knowledge and stuff like that. But in the mainstream, like, you got Kotaku, sometimes they're pretty good. I think Kotaku's pretty good. But IGN, man, you could tell a lot of their shit is paid for, man. And then a lot of these YouTubers, a lot of their shit is just regurgitated from the masses. I mean, a lot of their shit is just what everybody else is saying. I mean, nobody has the clicks are everything to everybody now. With journalism, with YouTube, everything. So they're going to go where the clicks are. So if everybody's hating on Dragon Age on Twitter, guess what I'm putting in my fucking title? We've done it. Listen, I'm going to tell y'all right now on this podcast, I'm going to do it for this episode, right? I'm going to let this episode be the test. Watch the views on this YouTube video version of this podcast.
Go from 2 to 3.
Exactly. Watch the difference. Watch the difference, dog. I'm trying to tell you, I did it with XDefiant when we did the review for XDefiant. You know what I mean? It was a negative ass title. I said the Call of Duty killer. You know what I mean? And it got all these views. It got all these views, right? All these views. I did a negative ass title. So maybe like a couple weeks ago, I did another negative title for a podcast we did. And same thing. We got a bunch of views. Like I said, man, like negativity is just what people feed off of these days.
Yeah, it's very easy to make negative content and any form of fight also on YouTube, but it's also what keeps people coming back to it. Like, like the reason why is like as kids we didn't understand why people watched like TMZ or like shit like Jersey Shore and shit like that. But when we grew up, it's all a lot more exciting and shit. It's not because it's like, it's cool or anything. It's just because it's dramatic. Yeah. And the moment we enjoy watching other people's drama and stuff like that. But the moment it's our drama, we hate it. So like, it's really just that. Like it's like these people found a niche. They make daily videos talking about controversies or problems all throughout, like, gaming and other shit. And then after that, it's like, all right, cool. We farm this drama. Let's go find the next drama, right? Let's go make money off this because they're getting like ad revenue off of the clicks and shit, like stuff like that. So it's like it's not that I don't want people to talk about controversy. It's just some people talk about it to the point where it's like overblown or unnecessary. Like if you do a video covering a topic and it's like one video, it's like, all right, fine, you talked about it, you gave your thoughts and opinions. If there's any follow-up developments, sure, make another follow-up video. But there are people that make like 6 videos, and a lot of the quote-unquote updates they talk about is like 7 minutes of recap and 3 minutes of the new information, which is like, dude sneezed wrong. like it's just like, okay, dude.
Man, I think like this shit just be so negative, and it's like a lot of times it's like the thing that like with game media, especially on YouTube, that I can't fucking stand, and we talked about this the other day, is they all regurgitate the same shit, and then it's always the same rhetoric at the end. Don't buy this woke crap, vote for your wallets. What the fuck do you guys play, man? Like, that's what I be wanting to know. Like, what do y'all play? What do y'all fucking play, man? Because I can't tell. I can't tell if y'all being serious or you're fucking lying, man. Like, yeah, I mean, like there's a bunch of YouTubers, like the YouTuber, I ain't gonna say their name, but the YouTuber I sent you the other day, like they got some controversy shit going with them because they just fell too deep in the rabbit hole. They went too deep with the negative shit, and it got them in trouble now. Now you're trying to backpedal and do all this, and I've been really negative lately. It's like, yeah, no shit, because you're chasing the fucking.
But it's easy to fall into those types of mindsets when you're going after like that type of content. Like it literally. Any type of drama style reactionary YouTuber will do that shit. And the thing is like, as long as you own that you're doing that shit and just don't fucking try to like make stupid ass takes for controversy reasons, then I think you can do it ethically. But like The problem is that people do it because it's easy content to make. It's easy things that you're just talking about what's popular. That's it. You go on Twitter, you see what's pissing people off. You talk about it. You make your links, and then you go do on to the next one. It's easy money. If you the moment you get an audience, it's easy money.
It's crazy.
All right, and get the same thing for games journalists. They do the same thing. They make some weird ass hot take fucking title, which is rage bait usually. People click on it, they get ad revenue from the clicks, and then boom, on to the next rage baity title. Like that's the problem. Dog. It's no longer about gaming. It's no longer about it's not about gaming. It's not about how fun games are, what gamers are doing for their communities. It's all about the drama, and that's it.
I'm gonna say this, man, and we're gonna get to the last thing, and then we're gonna wrap this joint up.
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna say this last thing. I'm gonna say two names. That's the only two names I'm gonna say. And I'm only saying this out of love because I do really like these content creators. I've been watching them for years, and I'm seeing them go down a bad way. And it's for somebody who's been a long time enjoyer of these two people, it's making me. I've already hit the unsubscribe button on the Codfather. I mean, I can't stand it. I can't stand his ass no more.
I've never heard of that dude.
I can't stand that motherfucker, man. I mean, he finds anything he can to hate on Call of Duty now, man. Like, this is the best Call of Duty we had in years. Like, eat a dick. Like, they're getting on my fucking nerves. But I'm gonna say to these two creators, man, they're never gonna see this video, but I'm just gonna let you know their names, right? Angry Joe and the Act Man. Cut the shit, man. Just cut the shit and get back to the way that y'all used to.
What is the problem with Angry Joe? I haven't watched a lot of his reviews recently, but I know
Angry
he didn't like.
Did a video on Payday 3 like a month ago, right? He did a video going back to Payday 3. Mm-hmm. I mean, after all the controversy and shit, and he went back to playing the game, and he said, "Wow, the game is really good now. They fixed a lot of things," and his community tore him apart for it. And what did he do, man? He tried to take the high road, but at the same time, he tried to like make it seem like it was like it's just I didn't like the response he had to that shit, man. It's
I know there was controversy with Payday where like Axeman got sponsored by it and did a positive review of what he played. But he came out later with another video saying that like what he had played versus what was different. Actually
that's different.
That's
so totally different. With Angry Joe, like literally a month ago, he was like he made a video going back to play Payday 3 now. I mean, and see what it's like and stuff like that, and see what they changed and stuff. And he had a really good time playing it, and he enjoyed it. And he was telling his stream and his audience like, "Hey, man, go play this game. Like, it's actually good now." And as a community tore him apart because he's been one of those strong-armed people that's been like, if a game is fucked, it's fucked. I'm not going back to it. Fuck it. He didn't do that with No Man's Sky and shit like that. So people ripped him the fuck apart.
Because he finally changed his opinion. They tore him up.
Because he finally. And that's the thing. You said it perfectly right there. He changed his opinion. These people want you to hate forever and never like and never enjoy, man. And that's the problem, man. That's why these games, that's why you seen Concord said, "You know what? We throwing the towel now. Y'all don't like it now, you'll never like it." You know what I mean? You see XDefiant, you know what?
You can say the same thing about Halo Infinite. Like a lot of people hate on that game, even though currently it's actually in the best state it's ever been. Like
I've heard.
Yeah, you played it. You played it with me.
I've heard from. I watch a lot of videos on Halo Infinite, like their updates and shit.
Bro, you were playing the MGS remake that some dude did.
That shit was gas. That shit was gas.
I knew you were gonna like that shit.
Yo,
I was like, damn. No, I've been waiting. I want to kind of like make a video on it.
You have to remember the entire first game though. So
like to actually like get through it.
Yes. Yeah. Like, you have to do everything, like literally, like the part when you gotta look at Meryl's ass and follow her to the bathroom.
That's fucking
to get the
crazy.
Card. You literally have to do that. Like it's fucking.
That's crazy.
Like it's fucking crazy, man. Like it's so good, dog. It's so good. But Halo's in a good state, man. And so I've heard the rank is a little better now. Yeah, I mean they
Yeah.
changed a lot of things. I mean,
Ranked is always a mixed bag. I still think that their skill based matchmaking shit is annoying
it's
as fuck.
strong. That
Yeah.
MMR shit is strong.
But
dog.
it's the problem we've had with it is that the MMR for your public is influenced by your rank, your actual rank.
Yeah,
So if you play
yeah.
ranked, you get and you do really good in a regular match, you end up getting placed against like Onyx players and getting your shit kicked in.
Yeah.
Which the player base is currently not that big, so it's like, bro, like you're really just like killing your own player base by doing that shit. Like,
Yeah,
I get it.
stupid. Cause I be wanting to play rank. Me and a couple of the guys been talking about playing like Halo
We
rank.
usually run like I didn't want to touch rank really, when it came out, but I've been playing when I got a decent group. I was like, oh yeah, let's run ranked. Like I don't
It's
mind.
4v4, right?
Yeah, it's 4v4 objective and Slayer.
Yeah,
Like there's Slayer only one, and then there's also objective based,
yeah, we might
which has Slayer in it.
Yeah, I mean, I've been on a rank, on my rank shit with duty, but yeah, I mean, we try to get an LGG.
Halo ranked is a different animal, dude. You gotta be.
I heard. I mean, I know. I used to play this shit, so I know.
You used to play Halo 3 ranked.
Yeah, it's different.
That's different. This is different.
Yeah, but yeah, man, no. That's how I feel on the current state of shit. Like I said in the act, man, he's been following the same trend as everybody else. Let's hate on everything. I mean, Doctor disrespects bad. Let's
I don't know
himself and shit.
Because like there's a couple like Actman videos I've seen that's like it's not hate. He's just giving like, why the fuck did you guys do this? Like I've seen those videos. I'm like,
we're gonna segue into these last two things. We're gonna do two reviews real quick, and then we're gonna finish this joint. Right. So this is a good segue. He did a video on Dragon Age, right? Which again, this is all of his opinions, right? These are all of his opinions. But we're gonna use his video of what I watched as a base for my review, right? I mean, now I played like 10 hours of this game. He claims to have only played 3 fucking hours of the game and then turned it off. So again, I mean, we may have a difference in opinions because of the time length, but I doubt it, because I do agree with a lot of the things he said, but I don't agree with like people saying like this is the worst game ever. Like, the problem with this game is you really got to get through the beginning. The beginning is really, 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 really boring. And it's like, fuck, bro. Like the first 2-3 hours is like, dog, like, I don't care. Like, I don't care. Why do you keep saying these niggas' names over and over again? The gods, over and over. That's literally what you hear 40 fucking times in the beginning.
But like
game.
I could see why. If like your first part of the game is brutal to get through, then like you've made a negative impression on me. I'm refunding my product, right?
Yeah, of course. But
so
I think the problem I had with his review, of course, was he was talking about things that he didn't even experience. Like when he was talking about like the writing and stuff, I kind of agree. The writing is really bad for this game, and it sucks because BioWare is really good with the conversation.
They used to be.
Usually I'm very engaged with the like Mass Effect, Dragon Age Inquisition that came out 10 years ago. That had really great dialogue. This game's dialogue is like okay. Like if I had to give a dialogue a score out of a scale of 1 to 10, I give it like a strong 6. Like it's no higher than that, no lower than that. Like there's sometimes where the writing is like extremely cringe. I mean, and like you've seen online where there's people just saying, just in the middle of a conversation, I'm non-binary. It's like,
I don't know. That fucking Peter Griffin edit was hilarious, though. I'm not gonna lie.
That shit cracked
me up.
That shit was, who the fuck cares? Like that shit was crazy, bro. I was like, yo, what is going on with this game?
There's a lot of that's what I'm saying. Like BioWare used to be really good at that. Like Mass Effect, the original Dragon Age, even the Inquisition was really good with dialogue and shit. Made you care about the characters and stuff like that. And they could do, like I said, we've always said this before, they can do a non-binary character. The problem is that you have to write it very well. You have to make it feel authentic. You have to make it feel good. a person walking up to you and just going, "Hello, I am non-binary." Like,
yeah, like that's not good writing, dog.
It's not good writing. It's also not really like something you would experience in the real life. Like I have never had anybody just walk up to me and go, "I'm non-binary," or "I'm gay," or I don't know if you noticed, but I'm black. It's like it's like, dude, people. I usually treat people like they're human beings. Like, oh, what's your name? What's up, man? What's your story? Let's like you talk to them. Like, just talk to them. Like that's how people interact. If you have a whole culture that's basically like robotic, and then you make that as part of like a robotic character, like I can see that.
Soulless hates slavery. I hate slavery. Slavery is bad. Like that's all right, bro. Like,
you can have that in your game. That's fine. It's not a problem. But Fallout being a prime example where slavery was prevalent in the game is like it's an option you can do too. Like that's the thing. You could be an asshole and enslave people. You could put slave collars on people that blow up. Like that's something you could do. But it's also what made the game good because it's like you have that ethical dilemma of like, do I want to be this jackass? Like I'm always the dude that's like, nah, I'm gonna be a good guy. I don't want to be a villain. The only time I want to be a villain is in multiplayer.
Yeah, but the writing is like okay, it's serviceable. The combat is really good. This is my main problem with the game of what I played so far. So I'm not going to give it a rating yet. I want to beat it and then I'm gonna give it a rating. Because I'm invested now. Like I've gotten to the point where I'm like,
you finally got like in there.
This. Like, yeah, it's things are clicking, things are starting to feel good. The story's moving at a decent pace. I'm like, okay, we can get this train running. The biggest problem I have with this game is the reports were true that Dragon Age game was gonna be a live service game. You can see.
Yeah, from all the hero intros that I saw from the commercials, yeah, I can see
it's
it. It's
not just that; it's just the gameplay itself. Like the combat itself, literally feels like a looter shooter. Like it gives me looter shooter vibes. Like you hold like left trigger and hit a face button to do an attack, and it does like certain things and has a cooldown and stuff. You have an ultimate. You have all these different things. You have different rarities and weapons and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Certain enemies have a barrier that have to be broken by you doing certain things and shit. So it's like you can see that this was a live service game that they were developing, and they had to quickly change it.
They probably saw what happened to Suicide Squad, and they were like, "We should do something different."
Yeah, I think so too.
I think Suicide Squad scared them, and
even though,
and to be honest, like they probably is what made the game not as shitty as what it could have been.
I kind of disagree. I think this game feels a little strange because they didn't build it to be a single player experience from the beginning. The whole time I've been playing it, it's one of those things where it's like I be feeling like, damn, like, and I never feel this way with single player games because like I like my single player games to be single player games, but this is one of those weird times where I'm just like, damn, I really wish I had somebody else to play this fucking game with.
Yeah,
you know what I mean,
I mean,
it gives you that feel like the way you move in combat. It's like the synergy with another player would be really good.
I see what you're saying. I know Inquisition had a weird multiplayer mode. Like they were trying to do some weird one-off multiplayer modes with Mass Effect and Inquisition. But like I don't know, man. We would have to see the version of it that was a live service game to actually like make a really good start comparison. Because I feel like the pivot to single player is probably what would have saved the game if it had come out and it was just another Suicide Squad, like just how it was made and everything. Like I think that would have maybe made it worse. And so now this game actually does get like a small little community of people that actually enjoy it. Instead of just like, oh, this game is trash from the rip. Suicide Squad is trash, type shit.
Like, I generally do think the game is good. I just think like the beginning is like really kind of like a slog because it's like it's trying to connect to Inquisition, which is a game that you played 10 years ago. So you kind of got to remember all of those things.
Well, it's not even that. I thought a lot of the issues was that it's not as gritty as the older games.
It's not.
It's not as like there aren't like choices you can make that make you the asshole or gray area decisions that based on what I've heard, that's pretty much what I've been hearing.
I won't say there's not as many. Like I remember in like the older games, like yeah, you had some kind of wild decisions you had to make. But I will say the decisions that you do make, they do have a good impact on the story. A lot of them aren't as dark. Like there's a couple ones that are like, oh shit, like I gotta kind of figure this out kind of fairly. You know what I mean, in a simple way. But I do like how like it lets you know, like when you do something or you say something that a character disagrees with, it tells you like, hey, because of your actions, this person has done this or does that. I was like, all right, I kind of like that. Like it's early in the game, so this isn't a spoiler. None. I ain't gonna tell you, but it's like there's a certain point in the game where you like literally have to choose your ally, right? Like who goes with you, and then whoever you choose, they get like mortally wounded, and then from what I'm understanding, they get some type of ability from that. So you get to kind of choose who gets like a cool ability from taking that damage and stuff like that. But there's like also like a trade-off with it seems like. But that's just from, again, these are early impressions. Like I'm still kind of 10 hours is like nothing. Like I'm really not that deep into the game.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, but at least you're giving it a fair shot. Like,
yeah,
I understand the criticism of Activan because if you're gonna pass off that video as a full review, then you should actually play all the way through the game, or at least a good portion.
That's what I'm big on. Play the game. At least get to the halfway point.
I can also understand that a game bothers you so fucking much that you can't get through it.
Yeah, I've been there. I've been there. Look at Bloodborne. I love that fucking game, but I mean, hey man, that game too hard, dog. That game too hard. I love that game.
No, I feel you. I got through a good decent portion of Bloodborne before I stopped playing it.
Bloodborne has an amazing soundtrack, amazing ambiance, good story. I fucking hate the difficulty, man. That shit hard as hell.
Yeah, the learning curve is crazy. I know.
Got a parry with the gun. I didn't know that shit till fucking a year ago. That shit
that's they don't outright usually tell you. It's just kind of like, yeah, figure it out, dude. Like I'm like, all right.
I fucking hate that.
There's a lot of things with Elden Ring I didn't know going my second time around with it. They're like, oh, did you know you could do this? Did you know the rune arcs give you a fucking snap boost? I'm like, oh, awesome. And then I burned 20 of them on one guy.
But I will say this. For anybody that is interested to play, I bought this game on a sale. It was on a Black Friday sale. I got it for like $30. I feel like that's like a genuine price for it. Like I wouldn't pay full price for this. I mean, it is pretty dope. But like I said, like if you're gonna play the game, just know the beginning is kind of slow. So just give it some time, learn the new mechanics because there's new mechanics. Like it's a totally different game now. I mean, once you learn that, you get the learning curve of the combat. Like there's combos, there's all types of things you have to learn. Once you learn all those, the game starts to feel a little bit more fluid. Like the combat starts to feel like a Batman game, like the Arkham games, like with the counters and stuff. Like you'll really just get the like moving and stuff. It feels really good, man. But you just got to give it time, dog. Like I said, the writing could be better. The story so far kind of it's got me to a certain point. It kind of feels like that Mass Effect 2 type story. But, that's all I got on that. So the final review we're gonna pass it to you real quick. I know you only played a little bit of it, but give some first impressions for me and the listener about Marvel Rivals, man.
I fucking love Jeff, dude.
Who the fuck is Jeff?
He's a little shark dog.
Oh, okay.
He's fucking dope. He's a support class, but he's fucking great. I love playing him. Everything in this game is good. The only thing I think I see that's going to be a little bit more controversial is their microtransactions, and it's not because they're expensive. Like I don't care if they're expensive. What I care about is when you put in this sale shit on the day one of the release, and it's like, oh hey, this was worth this amount, and now it's worth this amount. It's like, bro, like seriously, like you pull in a Halo Infinite where you're like artificially like putting shit on sale. Like
Friday sales, man.
Yeah, well, it's not even that. The game just came out, so I have no prior comparison to any other things that came out. So if in the future, if it does get more expensive, then it's like, all right, cool. They're being honest about it. But if it comes out if it just like comes back and it's like the same fucking price as it was when on the release, then it's like, bro, you really just artificially like trying to get people to buy your shit.
I hate
People I hate that shit. Infinite does that shit for their microtransactions. They're like, this bundle is only $1,400. It's like, oh, okay, cool. And then like 2 weeks later, it's like the same price, but it's not on sale. And it's like, all right, what the fuck happened there? Like, that's the shit that I hate.
Stupid shit. Man.
Other than that, Rivals is a great game. You should play it.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun. I thought I wasn't gonna like it because it's Marvel, and I'm not usually too into the superhero movies and shit.
Gameplay's good,
but gameplay is fucking dope.
Good. I'm liking everything.
Favorite character so far is Jeff, the dog shark
he
thing.
Said Jeff.
His name is Jeff.
That's crazy.
It's Jeff. It's Iron Man. It's Star-Lord, and I haven't really played a Vanguard character, which is like their tanks. I like, except for maybe
just download it.
Maybe Doctor Strange. But there are like 20 plus characters on release. All of them you don't need to unlock or do any extra bullshit. So this is why I think this is going to be a direct competitor to Overwatch, because that means every new hero is probably going to be free. They're going to be like Valorant, where it's like super expensive fucking microtransactions, but the gameplay is good.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I'm excited to play it. I'll be streaming it today. I'm gonna try to stream. We got the new games on PlayStation too. We got let me show y'all. We got It Takes Two, which is a great game. Aliens Dark Descent, which I've been meaning to play.
That is a hardcore game. Do not play that if you have like, if you think you're gonna go into that casually. That's like XCOM. Like, don't do that.
I wanted to play that.
It's not turn-based either, so like you need to make decisions in the heat of the moment.
I like that. I can't wait to play that joint. I've had my eye on that game for a while.
Nah, bro, you're gonna hate it.
they gave us that for free, and then they gave us Temtem for free.
Temtem's a good
play. Yeah, I've been wanting to play that joint.
I'm sorry that didn't get sued by fucking Nintendo. Yeah, I played it on in early access like a couple years ago.
Shit. Yeah, we gotta play that joint. It's crossplay now too.
It's crossplay, and it's also double battles focused.
I can't wait to start this joint. I might play this tonight. I'm gonna play it. I wanted to wait till stream.
But if you're like a fan of the single player single battles in Pokemon, they don't really have that. Last time I checked, I think they just have double battles, but their mechanics for the double battles are pretty good. So yeah, give it a shot. It's not the best Pokemon clone I've seen, but it's definitely not the worst.
Okay, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it, man. I think that's something that me and the gang can play, man, because it's I like that it's a cross-play Pokemon game. Like, that's kind of dope. That's kind of dope. Man.
Well, that's again like fucking with Pal World. That could have been like basically cross-play too.
Yeah, I made a tweet about that today. I'm waiting for that cross-play, man, because I want to get back into that game. I really like that game.
Me too.
But
I really liked it too.
Yeah, my friends are just too spread out.
I also been playing that game Enshrouded, which came out around the same time. That's actually a really good game, like survival style.
Oh yeah, that's on my wish list.
You should check that one. It was like $19 when I picked it up. It was out of like 40, so it was pretty good.
Shit. Yeah, I might have to get that. Damn, I just spent $30 on what you call it. Let me chill. I just spent $30 on fucking Path of Exile. I can't wait to play this joint.
I really want to check that out, but I'm not getting the early access.
Yeah. Don't worry about the early access.
I'm not making the same mistake I did with Diablo, which is buying that shit at full price. I should have waited till it was on sale and to check it out, and then go, oh, I don't like this. Like that is one of the peer pressure moments. I got peer pressured into fucking buying that game, and I was like, shit, fucking boring, bro.
It ain't for everybody, man.
It is not. It is not for everybody.
I'll tell you all how Path of Exile is on the next podcast. I'm gonna be playing a lot of this shit, dog. I'm gonna be grinding.
Yeah, that one I can actually get behind because it's gonna be a lot more customizable with how you do your character. The only thing I think I haven't. Yep.
I'm excited,
But
man.
yeah, and then
I can't wait, dog. I can't wait. I'll be playing it all tonight, man. So yeah, this has been a long podcast, man. Y'all been, a lot of y'all been asking me what I think about the Game Awards. Now y'all know what I think. I mean, XDefiant news was brand new. That was fresh.
yeah, that shit was fresh. It's like we're usually like 2 to 3 weeks late.
Yeah, that shit just happened like 2 days ago, like yesterday, basically. But I'm looking forward to that journey. So, yeah, I mean, I was looking forward to doing this podcast so we could talk about all this. But like I said, we're gonna try to nail down the date. Make sure y'all check out my social medias and stuff. We're gonna try to nail down the date for December 27th. Do a podcast. It's gonna be the biggest podcast we ever did. It's gonna be a really good joint. We're gonna have a bunch of people there. We're gonna have like damn near a panel. We all gonna be talking games. We're gonna be giving y'all our game of the years there. Like I'm gonna give y'all my game of the my game of the year list there. Eknight's gonna come prepared with his. We already know what his is, man. We seen the games. We seen the games.
Fucking Helldivers.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, thank y'all for listening. Share it with your friends, like I always say, and we'll see you on the next one. Okay, bye.